Good evening and welcome to Maverick Stadium for tonight's district matchup between the Marshall Mavericks and your Jacksonville Fighting Indians. We're a little late here tonight starting. We are having some technical issues with a microphone, so I think we've maybe got those ironed out. But welcome into our countdown to kickoff. I'm Ryan Travis, joined in the booth tonight by Todd Travis and Lee Traylor. And as always, joining us down on the sideline is the man in the hat, Matt Montgomery. Matt, Jacksonville's has a tough rest of season schedule, with 2 of those 3 games being against top-ranked teams in the state, and they begin that stretch tonight against Marshall. So what can we expect to see from the Indians tonight?
Well, this will be the best football team Jacksonville has seen this year. And, of course, Jacksonville has the 1 win. Marshall is solid up and down. Last week they played basically for the district championship up in Texarkana against the Texas High Tigers, who still lead the district. Texas High was leading that ball game by a score of 43 to 21. Marshall came back, got to 43-42. They went for 2. They didn't get it, so Texas High came away with that win. So tonight Marshall's feeling a little bit stung right here, and they maybe Jacksonville will catch Marshall a little flat after such an emotional loss last week. I have no idea, but this is a Marshall team that, again, Jacksonville has not seen a team this fast or strong so far this year.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough matchup tonight against Marshall. They almost beat Texas High last week, which I'm not sure that we were expecting anybody to be close with Texas High this year. So that one was a heck of a game, came down to a finish where they went for 2. And, they've got a really good team, and Jacksonville's going to have to come with their A game tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, no question. Marshall's coming into the ball game averaging 440 yards of total offense per ball game. And they like to run the football. Their quarterback's only thrown 2 interceptions all year long. They don't like to put the ball in the air. They like to ground it out. This game could be over by 9:30 because Jacksonville also likes to run the ball. Fighting Indians still led in rushing by Didi Mares. Didi coming into the ball game, he has 844 yards on 150 carries. He's averaging, just right at 6 yards a carry, 120 a game. Didi's got a chance for 1,000 yards to be the first 1,000-yard rushing running back since 2006 when Carmen Boyd Anderson, who went on to Kansas to play football at the D1 level, had well over 1,800 yards his senior year. So Didi's been the weapon for Jacksonville, and, of course, that's just what Jacksonville's tried to do all season, Ryan, is get behind their big offensive line, run the football, and throw when they need to. And throwing the football hasn't been Jacksonville's forte, but coming into the season, they knew that. They knew they were going to be able to run the football, and that's what they're going to try to do tonight against a Marshall team that is averaging 40 points a ball game. And, of course, Jacksonville coming into the ball game averaging about 12 points a game. That's a pretty big differential, so it'll be interesting to see how that matchup turns out there.
Yeah, well, I know Didi's been a big bright spot this season, and last week the offensive players of the game were the offensive line. So let's go ahead and take a look at our spotlight player of the game tonight, Alex Parra. Alex is a junior offensive lineman. He started as a sophomore last season. He's a great downfield blocker. He's been a big part of this improvement on the Jacksonville O-line that has allowed the Indians to have success running the football. And for everyone watching at home, keeping out for number 61, Alex Parra tonight, as the offensive line continues to build on that success that they had last week as the Austin Bank offensive players of the game.
Ryan, defensively, Jacksonville's led in tackles by Elijah Benavides and Michael Miles. Both of those linebackers tied with the team lead, 59 tackles each. Of course, Jordan Dorsey does his thing, a lot of tackles for loss, and 4 sacks, a couple of block punts, Jordan Dorsey up front. But Mike Taylor has played well. Calvin Boyd's been playing really well. And in the secondary, Harrison Penn has stepped in and done a nice job. But to me, probably the brightest light tonight will be Drew Dials. Drew Dials, the senior, injured in week 1 against Center, had surgery to repair his shoulder, and Drew is back. He's been 100% cleared by the doctor for full contact. He's not 80 or 90%. Drew Dials is 100%. He will start in the secondary for Jacksonville tonight and also may get some reps at quarterback. That's something Jacksonville wanted to do until he was injured in week 1. So it's great to see the senior Drew Dials get to come back. It's his senior year.
Absolutely. You never want to see somebody get hurt in their senior year, the first game. So it's great that Drew's been able to have a good recovery process and is able to come back and play tonight. And Matt, I don't want to get us too close to kickoff on Inside the Huddle, so let's go ahead and send it over to hear from head coach Jason Holman on this week's Inside the Huddle, brought to you by All Smiles Dentistry. Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Time to go inside the huddle with head football coach and athletic director Jason Holman. Coach, you scored first against White House last week, got off to a really good start, and then things just started chipping away. They had some good long drives, and man, before you know it, it's 21-7.
Yeah, felt real good, obviously, with the opening score or scoring first and taking the lead, and then just things kind of started to wane a little bit. They started having some success with some tempo on us defensively, and we got shut down a little bit, some 3 and outs and that sort of thing. Kind of killed the momentum there.
And you continue to run the ball well. These teams still putting 8 guys in the box, loading everything up, and that kind of resulted in those 2 pick sixes because they just had everybody up like that. But you still had almost 200 yards rushing again on the night.
Yeah, and the pick sixes were certainly unfortunate. Something we're definitely not planning on happening right there. But in a couple cases they were covered, and we should have diverted to another option, throw the football, and in another case they were just where they were supposed to be in really tight coverage. So we've got to obviously eliminate that to be competitive.
Of course, defense continue to get turnovers, which is something that has changed a lot for the better, creating those turnovers. And kids kept playing. Second half, they could have folded the tent. They did not. They kept playing hard.
Yeah, I was proud of our effort on both sides of the football. I told the kids after the game, I don't question the effort. I don't question the will to win, and the thought process behind doing that. I was proud of the defense. We blocked a field goal late in the game, kept them out of scoring position, and did some things late that we hadn't done in the past. Kids still playing hard, still playing with effort, and that's to their credit.
Let's look at the highlights. Jacksonville versus White House. Here's Trent to Dante for that score. Good little tunnel screen there.
Yeah, it was a great job by Dante, and the blockers setting it up, of course, linemen getting out and getting some key blocks.
Here's Dede for 20. Alex, Javon, and Jared getting really good blocks here.
Yeah, great job of turning it up. Had some trouble with finding the holes earlier in the year. We think we figured that out now.
Boy, Luis gets a big block downfield. Randy goes for 13.
Yeah, it's a great job by Luis running and picking somebody up out on the edge.
Watch Zeke break on the ball here. Big hit.
Yeah, it was a good tackle by Zeke right there.
Elijah, Michael Miles, nice tackle.
Good job by both of them. They've played well for us this year.
Here's Jordan fighting through a block. Gets him at the line.
Yeah, Jordan continues to do what Jordan does.
Bad snap here, weird snap, but Searles turns it into something really big here for big game.
Yeah, certainly wasn't the way you drew it up, but great job of turning the negative into a positive.
Here's Dede for 15, Toby. Luis getting big blocks.
Yeah, great job. Obviously, Luis right there springing him, pulling up in the hole.
Here's Dede punching it in from 10 for the second score. Alex, Javon, and Cam Thompson getting a good block.
Yeah, good job up front, understanding what we're doing and how we're doing it. We're getting better at that every single week, and had a good practice on Monday. Throughout the week, had good practices on and really getting better at knowing exactly where we are and who we're supposed to fit up.
Coach, players of the game for the White House. Okay.
This week we had offensively, we had Dante Simmons, who scored the opening touchdown. Dante's done a great job. He's blocks well on the edge, runs good routes, and contributes greatly to us. So we gave him that honor this week. Defensively, Mike Taylor probably had his best game of the year, and whether it was production or whether it was just being active, he's improved a good bit. So we gave him that honor. He had a fumble, calls fumble that got us off the field at one point. And then on the special teams, Jordan McGowan came in and did a great job for us. His first game back from injury, was on the opening kickoff and ran down and made a great tackle and did some other things throughout the night. And also stepped in and played well for us defensively too.
Coach, there's no question this week Marshall will be the best football team you've faced so far. They're a solid team. I think they're ranked in several polls easily in the top 15. They took Texas High to 1 point, went for 2, didn't get it. The conversion to win the game. You got to admire somebody trying to go for the win like that. It was at Texarkana. Marshall's a good football team.
Yeah, the first thing that pops out to you is their physicality. You know, they're a lot like us in their mentality offensively. They're going to run the football. They're physical. They've got a big fullback, number 0, that time and time again has some really good highlight blocks. I mean, he's really going to bring it. And got 2 or 3 good tailbacks that they can put back there and a quarterback that's shifty. It's going to be a challenge. They do a great job coming off the ball up front. I mean, they're easily probably the most physical team we face this year in terms of offense. Defensively, they're fast. They don't stay on blocks long. They swarm the football, you know, and we're going to have to obviously play very, very well to limit their opportunities on offense as well as be able to move the ball from our offensive perspective.
You know, you watch a team like Marshall, and as you said, they're so physical. But your team has been very physical running the football. And every week you think, well, you know, it's going to be hard to run the football in this group. But every week you get that 200 yards, very consistent. You know, Dede gets his 100 and something yards, and Randy gets his 80 to 90 yards. And, you know, that's something that you can build on. But it's also something where you can get yourself in some 3 and outs. And a team like Marshall, you can't do that with.
Yeah, and you know we've got to be good in the early downs. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, don't get behind the chains. Yeah.
And as we've gone throughout the season, we've done a better job of not having the, you know, early on in the season, so like we'd get maybe 5 or 6 on first down, and then lose 6 on second. And that's the kind of things that can't happen. And a lot of times that happens just because of uncertainty on who you're blocking or how you're blocking it. So we've got to be really good in that sense. We've got to stay ahead of the chains. And stay on target, you know, as far as down and distance situations, given our limitations. So, you know, and to be honest with you, Marshall's a lot like that too, from an offensive standpoint. I mean, they don't throw the ball very, you know, they're not hugely successful throwing the football. They can, and they will, but they're kind of the same formula. Yeah. You know, they need to stay on track, and they're going to run the ball 3 yards, cloud of dust, and you know, get to a short third down and convert. So. It's going to be a physical game. It's liable to be a pretty quick game. Both teams run the football like we do, but we've got to take advantage of our opportunities and make sure we limit theirs.
I don't know if you've talked to your team about this, but I mean, you know, they just coming off an emotional loss, to Texas High. You know, that might have been for the district championship. Could this be a trap game? I mean, is that something that, you know, maybe your team can get in there and slip in there and mentally maybe catch them in a moment where they're not ready?
Well, you know, that certainly is a thing that tends to happen oftentimes after you have a big game and have a letdown like that, you know. I don't know. That's going to be up to Marshall right there.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think our kids are excited to play. Like I said, we've had good practices, and the tempo's been high. You know, we understand where we are, but there's still a vested interest in improving what we do and a lot of pride involved there. So, we plan on coming out and playing them hard and giving them a contest.
Yeah, and that's why I brought that up, because this is the point of the season where, you know, you can lose your team if you don't have those good solid practices on Monday and Tuesday, and you make that comeback emotionally. And it's something to play for, because obviously Jacksonville is not going to be favored in this game tonight. But on the other hand, if your kids that you keep them and they still have that good attitude and they're coming to practice, that's all you can ask for is that effort.
Well, you know, they put their pants on one leg at a time like anybody else.
Exactly.
And one thing we can't do is give them too much credit for what they do. Yeah, they're a tough physical football team, but at the same time, anytime you step on that field, you've got an opportunity to win, and that's got to be the mentality, and that's got to be the approach.
Keys to the game for Jacksonville.
You know, just like I mentioned, offensively staying on target, taking advantage of opportunities in the red zone to get some points out of it. We got to be physical defensively. I think in both cases, on both sides of the ball, we've got to be physical up front. I think that's a huge key. We've got to reset the line of scrimmage from an offensive standpoint. We've got to keep them from doing that from a defensive standpoint and swarm the football. It's going to take a lot of hats getting to the ball to discourage them and get them down and limit their yardage. So, it's going to be a physical contest, and we've got to be up to the challenge for it.
That's Inside the Huddle this week. Jacksonville versus Marshall. Kickoff coming up at 7:30.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium here in Marshall. Team has made their way back out of the locker room. Matt, I have a question for you. So college game day is in Austin this week for Texas versus Georgia. Scotty Scheffler is going to be the guest picker. I know Texas is not your favorite team.
Go Bulldogs.
As you are an Aggie.
Yes.
So you're picking Georgia.
I'm picking Georgia. I mean, I know all those Texas fans out there saying, man, come on, you live in Texas. But there's something that happens to you, and Todd can agree with this. When you go to Texas A&M, I don't care if Texas is playing Satan's Angels.
I don't know that Todd feels the same way because my grandpa went to UT and he watches the Texas game every week. So.
Well, my brother went to Texas, and I tell everybody, we dropped him on his head when he was a baby, but everything's okay. But, no, I mean, Texas is just outstanding this year, and they deserve to be the number one team in the country. They have just played so well, and it's amazing how they played so well without their leading quarterback, Quentin Ewers.
Yeah.
And then they bring in Arch Manning. Of course, he's just a little bit good.
Not much drop-off there.
Not much drop-off.
Yeah.
They can go either way, but Texas is just really strong in their skill positions, and they even lost one of their best running backs to start the year. So it's going to be tough for Georgia, who's not as strong as everybody thought they were going into the season. But it's the SEC, man. Anybody can win on any day. That's why I'm nervous about going to Mississippi State tomorrow, because anybody can beat anybody on any given day, the SEC. That's the way – that's not a trite saying. That's the truth.
Yeah, especially after we've had some movement in the last couple of years. There's a lot of powerhouse teams that have made their way to the SEC.
Guys, this is this is a long-standing encounter, if you will, between Marshall and Jacksonville. This goes back 108 years. The first time they played was in 1916. Marshall leads the overall series 18-6. Marshall has won the last 5 meetings, and the longest streak the Mavs had over Jacksonville, they won 10 in a row from 1916 to 1942. But then Jacksonville had a pretty good streak as well, as the Fighting Indians had a winning streak of 4 in a row, not as great as 10, from 2009 to 2012. So Jacksonville has struggled against Marshall in some games, but again, it's just a long history. The biggest loss that Jacksonville put on Marshall was in 2012 at Tomato Bowl, when Jacksonville smacked them 40-7. So, again, a long-standing series. These two teams have been in the district off and on since 2002, and this is a good Marshall team that Jacksonville is going to see tonight. Maybe one of the best Marshall teams, I think, that Jacksonville has seen since they started playing them.
I mean, they've got a good team. I do not remember us beating Marshall in 2012. I'm just going to throw it out there. That was while I was in high school.
So wait a minute. So maybe I got the wrong date.
Oh, I have no idea. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
I feel like I would remember that, but I don't. So
yeah,
I got
a 40-7 in 2012. So nevertheless, I would love to see something like that tonight.
Oh yeah, that would be fantastic.
Jacksonville now out of their run-through on the field. Marshall still gathering in the end zone in the remodeled Maverick Stadium. Pretty cool looking at the press box as "We Are Marshall." That's a pretty renowned phrase from Marshall University back in the day in the 70s. So here comes the Mavs. Fighting Indians on the sideline wearing their white jerseys, blue numerals, gold pants as the visitors.
Marshall in all gray tonight. White helmet, but gray top, gray bottom.
Yeah, that's a lot of schools going to some of these, I don't know, neutral colors, if you will, like a gray color or maybe solid black. I've seen some that have done that as well, even though black's not part of their regimen, their normal colors. Jacksonville has pretty much stayed with the blue and gold one way or the other. So we're getting ready to go as the teams on the sidelines will have the playing of our national anthem here in just a moment as we are getting ready for Jacksonville and Marshall. 25th meeting all-time between these two teams. It's a Tyler chapter of officials. I recognize them. Seen them many times before.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand and bow in reverence as we are led in prayer by junior cheerleader Carly Robinson.
thank you for bringing us all here together tonight. We pray, Lord, that you would watch over this game tonight. Watch over the players, coaches, trainers, referees, and fans. We pray for your protection over them all. May we play and cheer with good sportsmanship and let our actions honor you on and off the field. Finally, we pray that you would watch over everyone on their travels home after the game. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Would you please remain standing as we honor America as a trio of students from the Applied Voice class, Junior Gentry Burns, Sophomore Julia King, Senior Orlando Morton, sing God Bless America. Now please turn your attention to the field as the Marshall High School ROTC presents the colors and the Big Red Pride plays our national anthem.
The Big Red Pride Marshall Maverick Band with the playing of our national anthem as we're getting set to go. Week number 7, excuse me. Got ahead of myself. Week 7, Jacksonville versus Marshall. We're at Maverick Stadium, a remodeled Maverick Stadium. Very nice. Got new turf, new press box. Bleachers are still the same, but that's okay. It's concrete. Those are kind of hard to replace. So captains now will come out to midfield for the toss of the coin, and it's one of those fake ceremonial tosses, as it's already been done by the coaching staff, and Jacksonville will be kicking off to start the football game.
I like that call. It seemed to be pretty good so far this season.
Yep. So as we spot the Jacksonville captains, Jacksonville will be represented by number 62, Javon Rangel, number 55, Mike Taylor, and number 5, senior Damian Diaz.
For Jacksonville, Damian Diaz, Michael Taylor, and Javon Rangel.
Officials talking to both captains, tosses the coin. Of course, Jacksonville, as we mentioned, will be kicking off. Let's see if that was a deferral by Jacksonville, or did Marshall win the toss and just decided to receive. Jacksonville won the toss and deferred to the second half, so Fighting Indians will put their defense out on the field against a very potent Marshall offense. Again, coming into the ballgame, Mavericks averaging 440 yards per ballgame in total offense. A lot of that, most of it, is on the ground. Got a scooter little quarterback named Alton Henderson, the junior quarterback, 5'8", 168. He can go. Big guy that Jacksonville's going to have to deal with, according to head coach Jason Holman, is their fullback, 0, David Carlisle, 5'10", 227 pounds. Not a monstrous Marshall team like we've seen in the past, but watching them on film, very athletic and very physical. Jacksonville will be without tight end and H-back Jared Holman tonight. He's out ill, so Jared wasn't able to make the trip. There's a little bug going around. It's the flu, actually, going around, and Jared's not with Jacksonville tonight, but they did pick up, as I mentioned during the countdown to kickoff, sponsored by Gene Brummel and Farmer. Appreciate them from our South Jackson Dairy Queen for sponsoring our countdown to kickoff. Do get Drew Dials back tonight, and last week Jacksonville picked up Jordan McGowan, who we expect to see in the backfield some tonight, getting some carries, along with Elijah Harris. So KC Cardenas has it teed up for Jacksonville, and Samaj Gadsden is back for the Marshall Mavericks to receive the kickoff. Jacksonville versus Marshall for the 25th time historically. We're set to go. Glad you're with us here in JISD Live. Here's the kickoff, and here's Ryan.
KC going to pop this one up to the right side. It's going to be fielded about the Marshall 25. Pretty good return. Michael Miles first to make the hit and able to bring the returner down.
Big hit by Miles.
So Marshall will start 1st and 10 to get this drive underway from about their own 32-yard line.
So it's Henderson, the little scat back quarterback from Marshall. As I said earlier, they don't put the ball in the air too much. Last week he threw his second interception all year. So he's been quite accurate throwing the football, but it's the ground game that Marshall relies on most. And they'll line up with Gadsden and Carlisle, the big fullback.
Two receivers right to start this game for the Mavericks. Henderson going to pitch this one to Gadsden. Gadsden going to go up through the line, going to pick up about 5.
Elijah Benavides was the first to hit Gadsden and helps get some help from Calvin Boyd and Mike Taylor. He'll pick up about 4 seconds, well, I'll call it 3 seconds and 7 for Marshall as that pushes the ball out to the Maverick 36.
So 2nd and 6 now for Marshall. One receiver each way. Alton Henderson under center. Henderson going to hand this one off to Gadsden. Goes around the right side. Zeke first to him. Brought down by Jaqueline Goodwin. Going to pick up a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd down, though, for Marshall.
Boy, I just like the way Zeke Whitaker all year long has been sliding down from his safety position, reading the quarterback nicely and making sure it's not a pass before he bolts up the field. Got help from Elijah Benavides also on that tackle. So 3rd down and 5 for Marshall on the opening drive of the ballgame.
Henderson looking to his right. That one broken up by Brendan Richards. Going to bring up 4th down for Marshall.
Well, great job by Brendan Richards in the corner, just jumping the route and slapping it away. So 4th down, and Marshall goes 3 and out on their opening possession. They're going to punt the football, and Jesus Grimaldo will come in to punt to the guy that just broke up that pass, senior Brendan Richards of Jacksonville. So good start for that Jacksonville defense, setting the tone right there, forcing Marshall to go 3 and out.
And to punt this one away is Jesus Grimaldo. That one to the right side, going to go out, see where they spot him. Looks like going to be right at the Jacksonville 30. So a good 3 and out to start the game for the Jacksonville defense, and the offense will take over 1st and 10 from their own 30.
Well, just a great first 3 downs for Jacksonville defensively, just emotionally and mentally coming in against, as I said earlier, probably the best football team they've seen all year long here in Marshall, making them go 3 and out. So Jacksonville will get decent field position on their own 30-yard line for their first offensive drive. It's Trent Clater, the sophomore, in the backfield with him. Dede Morris with 844 yards rushing so far.
2 receivers right to start the game. Clater quickly going to flip this one out. Dante Simmons makes the catch. Going to pick up 9. Good first play there for Jacksonville.
Well, I like the way that the confidence that Jacksonville shows in Trent Clater, the sophomore, the coaching staff, just getting him that first throw and that first catch. Rough game last week for Trent, throwing the football, and just like the way the coaches said, you know what, we're going to come out and throw. We're going to get a completion to start. They do that, and they pick up 9.
Jordan Dorsey checks in for Gaskin. 1 receiver each way for the Indians. Handoff goes to Dede up the middle. Good burst from Dede Mara is going to be good for an EAG forward first down and gets near midfield.
Indians going NASCAR right here after getting that EAG forward first down. Hurrying. Good job by Jacksonville right there, holding their water as Marshall kind of jumped. A lot of times you see the offensive line move. They did not.
Clater takes a snap, hands it off to Dede, shakes off a defender, going to pick up about 2, gets right to midfield. That'll be 2nd and 8.
We got an injured player. Cam Thompson got tangled up with number 11, Caden Rogers, the senior defensive lineman. And he's holding that right knee is Rogers, the Marshall player. As Cam Thompson just kind of kicked him out of the way, and he made contact, did Rogers, on Dede Mares. And Mares got free of that tackle, and then Rogers goes down. They're going to check his knee out. Let's take a break.
We'd like to thank this week's team meal sponsor, Blue Goose Customs and Fabrication. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Welcome back to Mavericks Stadium. Injured Marshall player making his way off the field. Now going to jog off, so it looks like he is going to be okay. It's good to see. Caden Rogers able to get off under his own power. So Jacksonville now with 2nd and 8 from midfield. Going to go trips left. Clater gets the snap, going to hand this one off to Dede. Immediately met in the backfield, going to lose 2. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Caleb High came off the edge. The linebacker, 5'8", 184, comes in almost untouched around that edge, and so quick as this Marshall defense gets Dede before he can get up in that A-gap. So he'll lose the 2 yards that he picked up earlier, so it's 3rd down and about, we'll call it 3rd and 9 for Jacksonville.
They got it spotted right at the down marker. It's 3rd and 10.
Yep.
Jacksonville going to hand this one off to Dede. Nothing there for Dede. Going to lose several. I think he's going to lose about 6. Give it 5, so it'll be 4th and 15. Jacksonville going to send on their punting unit.
Some kind of missed assignment right there as Dede didn't have anywhere to go, and I think that was a mistake by the H-back for Jacksonville that just missed the block. And here got a late comer coming into the ballgame. It's Michael Miles as KC will punt for the first time.
KC in to punt this one away. Low snap. KC able to corral it. Gets this one off. Fielded. Almost dropped by the Marshall returner. Quickly brought down. So Marshall will take over 1st and 10 from their 29.
Well, that's some great coverage by Jacksonville. The sophomore Kenyon Tilley, the first guy there. Miles down there as well with Harrison Penn. So good coverage by Jacksonville and their special teams. Snap was bobbled a little bit low, and KC does a nice job picking that up and getting it away. So second possession for the Marshall Mavericks. No score here in the first quarter. 7:50 remaining in the first quarter.
Henderson gets the snap, rolling to his right. Going to fire this one downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Tyler Johnigan.
Just a little bit too far toward the sidelines to pick it up, and it was Drew Dials back there with coverage. A little bit, not the connection right there, but Dials in his first action since week 1 against center looks really good out there. He's moving well. Again, we talked about the separated shoulder. I mean, it was a bad break. It wasn't even separated, it was broken. Elected to do surgery, and that's why he's been able to heal so quickly and get back. Incomplete, 2nd and 10 now for the Mavs.
Henderson going to go under center. Number 22, Isaiah Bush in the backfield. Handoff goes to him. Good burst forward, going to pick up 3.
Boy, what a nice tackle there. I'm trying to get that number. That's Elijah. And no, it's not. That is Josh Gaskin from his linebacker position. Nice tackle, going low, wrapping up. It's a physical Marshall team. If you're Jacksonville, you just can't go up and bump them with those shoulders and do those grabbing around the shoulder pads top tackles. You got to go low and you got to wrap them up, and that's what the senior Josh Gaskin did right there.
So 3rd and 7 now for Marshall. Henderson in the shotgun with Gatson. Going to keep it himself around the right side. Jacksonville able to bring him down just short of first down yardage. So it's going to be 4th and 1 for the Mavs.
So big call for head coach Jason Hammett in his first year as the Marshall head coach. And they are going to hurry here and go for it on 4th and 1 at their own 39.
Henderson going to go under center. Going to hand this one off to Gatson around the left side. Has the first down yardage brought down. A gain of 3 on the play.
Oh, Mike Taylor got in the backfield. I thought he was going to be able to get Gatson right there for a loss, and Gatson put that little side move on him and gets the first down to the 41. That's Marshall's first down here at the 6:30 mark of the first quarter. So the 4th down conversion works for the Mavs.
1st and 10 for Marshall from their 41. Henderson in the backfield, going to his right. Flag comes in.
It's going to be motion on Marshall. The running back just took off just a little bit too quick.
So he will come out. Isaiah Bush will check back in for the Mavs. He's going to back him up 5. So 1st and 15 now for Marshall.
I don't know if you guys have checked out the size of number 79, Eric Perkins, the junior offensive lineman, left tackle for Marshall, 6'4", 324.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, that's our Luis Mancera.
So 1st and 15 now for the Mavs. Going to go a bunch trips left. Henderson in the backfield. Going to flip this one out. Finds his man. Try to get up the sideline. I believe that was Rajon Sims on the completion. So that'll bring up 2nd and long now for Marshall.
Well, another nice job by Elijah Benavides. He's having a heck of a ball game so far in this first quarter. Another tackle helped out by Samadrick Kincaid, the right corner for Jacksonville.
So 2nd and 12.
Just great pursuit right there. They had just a bunched up 3 guys with a little receiver screen, and Fighting Indians used great foot speed to get out there and wreck that thing.
They really did. That play burned us last week against White House for sure.
Yep, 3rd and 12.
Henderson going to go under center. Handoff goes to Bush around the right side. Breaks a couple tackles. Physical tackle there from Calvin Boyd. Able to knock him off his feet. It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
Tough run right there by Bush, alternating with Gatson at running back for Marshall. Those are their 2 leading rushers this year. Neither one of them like dominating, but they both have 300 or 400 yards apiece through 7 ball games.
Third and 3. Henderson under center once again. Bush in the backfield. Handoff goes to him around the left side. Lots of room to run. Going to pick up the first down yardage. Finally be brought down inside the Jacksonville 45.
Well, Drew Dials had a shot at him coming in from his safety position and just didn't wrap up. And, you know, you think about it, Drew hasn't played since week 1. And so you got to get back in football shape, tackling shape. You know, he's only had 3 days of practice. And so that's going to take a little time to get, you know, back in football shape. First down Mavs in Jacksonville territory at the Fighting Indian 48. No, it is 44. Excuse me.
2 receivers, White, David Carlisle.
Nice.
Lead blocker there for Gatson.
Oh, is that Jaqueline Goodwin right there? No, that's Goodwin.
Marshall
Nice.
going to pick up 1 there. Going to be 2nd and 9.
Nice play by Jaqueline with the tackle.
Henderson going to go under center once again. Drops back, looking down the right sideline. Pass is
caught it.
by Rajon Sims.
As good coverage by Brendan Richards. He was right there. He just, once again, like we saw last week, Richards is kind of throwing his hands up right now. He was right there to make the play, just lost where the ball was. Receiver finds it. He doesn't. First down Mavericks inside the Jacksonville 11-yard line.
Henderson going to hand this one off to Gatson. Going to get a couple. Going to pick up about 6. Get down to the Jacksonville 5-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, you can't fault Jacksonville's secondary the last couple of ball games. They have been in position to deflect it, pick it. You saw Brendan Richards get a nice deflection a few moments ago in pass breakup. He was right there, and you just lost the football in the lights maybe, and Marshall gets the big play. Now at the Jacksonville 5-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Jonigan and Sims out wide. Henderson going to hand this one off to Gatson. Trying to break a couple tackles. Going to get down close to the goal line. They're going to spot him at the Jacksonville 1. So 3rd and goal now for Marshall.
Benavides with the tackle, and Gatson looks like he tweaked some ankle. He's going to check out of the ball game. Check on that as Gatson, their leading rusher, running off the field, limping, favoring that right ankle. So Isaiah Bush will check back in. 3rd down goal. Elijah Benavides made another tackle there at the Jacksonville 1-yard line.
It's 3rd and goal. Henderson going to go under center. Bush going to get the handoff, and he gets in for the score.
So Bush goes in from 1 yard out. The Jacksonville defensively, they've made Marshall work for it. It just seems like every game it's just one big play. After the defense plays so well, Jacksonville just seems to break on one play, and Marshall takes advantage of it. 6-0. Here's the extra point.
Grimaldo in to attempt the extra point, brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee, and this one is up and good. So with 2:20 left in the first quarter, Marshall takes a 7-0 lead. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live. Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor, the cheese melts on top with that Texas toast. You look at it, your mouth starts watering. It's my go-to sandwich. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, that's my all-time favorite.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. Marshall takes a 7-0 lead over Jacksonville. 2:20 remaining in the first quarter. Jesus Grimaldo has this one teed up for the Mavs. This one high and deep, going to be fielded by Dante Simmons. Quickly wrapped up by Damian Smith Jr. Jacksonville will take over 1st and 10 from about the 16.
That's an appropriate name for him because he was very swift getting down there to make that tackle because Dante was full steam ahead on that kickoff return, and he got wrapped up quickly at the Jacksonville 16-yard line. So Jacksonville now, I think this is their third offensive possession. And this is their worst field position, starting position, I should say, at their own 16.
Dede in the backfield with Clater. 2 receivers left for the Indians. Clater going to take the snap, hands this one off to Dede.
Oh.
Had some room to run, going to pick up about 5.
Good hole opened up by Jamario Coleman and Para, our spotlight player of the week for Jacksonville. And boy, I really thought that Dede was going to pop through there and maybe break that one, but he does pick up 6, 2nd and 4. Actually, 2nd and 5. They'll mark it at the 21.
1 receiver each way for the Indians. Dede gets the handoff, trying to go up the middle again, going to pick up about 3, so it'll be 3rd and 2.
Boy, is there any question where Dede Morris is going once he gets the football? He's going north and south. I mean, he doesn't kid around. He just puts that shoulder down, and he just starts rolling. Big play right here for Jacksonville. Relatively deep in their own territory at their own 24, 3rd and 1. You really want to convert right here.
I think it's 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3. Well, yeah, it is. That was only a 1-yard gain. Thank you.
2 receivers left. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede once again. Goes up through the line. He's going to be spotted right at the first down. We'll see if they're going to give it to him.
It's first down. Yep,
it is. EAG Ford first down for Dede.
That little extra push at the end got it for him. And again, running behind Rangel, Jamario Coleman getting a nice push. Pretty good matchup size-wise. Jacksonville's offensive line and Marshall's defensive line, neither one of them really have a big advantage. So first down, Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was a great play from Dede, able to pick up the first down yardage, move the chains. Clater going to look for Dante on first down. That one a little behind him, incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10 after the incompletion for Jacksonville.
Yeah, a little pressure from Landon Jones off the edge. They list him as an athlete. He doesn't have a position. They just list Landon Jones as an athlete for Marshall, and you can see why right there. I mean, he jumped around the block and forced Trent to throw that ball, a little bit to the left of Dante just to get around the defender, Jones. 2nd and 10.
2 receivers left. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Has some blockers in front of him. Still fighting for yardage. I think they're going to give him 3, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
So you saw Jacksonville immediately get behind Dede to try to push that pile, but Marshall was ready for that. They got their guys, and these scrums that we've noticed the last few years have been kind of interesting, haven't they? That's going to be the last play of the first quarter.
So at the end of the first, Jacksonville trailing Marshall 7-0. Have a 3rd and 7 when we come back for the second quarter. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Gene Brumlow, class of '66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. We're about to start the second quarter of play. Marshall leading Jacksonville 7-0. Jacksonville with a 3rd and 7.
Jacksonville with trips left on this 3rd and 7.
Dede in the backfield with Trent Clater. Clater drops back, looking to his left, finds his man. Dante slips.
He did not call him down.
Did not call him down, so he picked up a couple, but it's going to be 4th and about 4.
And they'll send KC in, but man, the official on this sideline, not sure what he was watching right there, but Dede was down about 3. Dante was down about 3 yards before they marked the ball right there. So Jacksonville catches a little break there. It's not going to be enough for the first down. So KC now will come out for his 3rd punt of this first half. And if you're Jacksonville right here, this is where you really got to stiffen up defensively. You don't want to – your offense has been kind of struggling a little bit the first 2 possessions.
KC gonna roll to his right, hits this one to the near sideline.
What a punt.
That one fair caught by number 23, Keontae Lias.
It's a nice spiral. No chance for a return. Good coverage by Jacksonville. Their punt unit, they work a lot, Jacksonville does, on their punting. And, of course, they've struggled a little bit offensively this year, so they punt the ball a lot. And they've really gotten sound in that part of the game the last few ball games, covering and KC getting it off after having one blocked a couple weeks ago.
So 1st and 10 for Marshall. Henderson going to hand this one off.
Yeah.
Jacksonville
not
reads
faked out.
the play very well. Jordan Dorsey makes the tackle on Keontae Lias.
Boy, Lias just kind of squatted back there, and Lias they list him at 5'7", 157. That's pushing it. He's about 5'6", maybe 5'5". He was just kind of squatted behind the center. It's that old, not quite the Statue of Liberty play, but it's just kind of a hideout. He just kind of sticks it under there. Boy, Jacksonville stayed home. Nice job, Dorsey, Taylor, Boyd. Loss of 1.
2nd and 12.
Loss of 2.
They did better than the cameraman, who was faked out.
Henderson looking to
Picked
the near
off,
sideline.
baby.
Brendan Richards.
Picked off Richards.
Let's go, Brendan.
Nobody's celebrating.
What a play.
Now they are.
I'm not sure if they knew he picked it up.
I don't think they did.
That was a heck of a play from Brendan Richards.
He jumped that route perfectly, read the quarterback Henderson, and I'll tell you, I see why Marshall doesn't throw the ball. Henderson just stares his receivers down and doesn't look any other direction. And boy, Brendan Richards took advantage of that, steps in front. He's already got 1 pass breakup. That one gets the pick.
Yeah, great break on the ball from Brendan. It was quick, and like you said, it looked like a lot of people were
just paused.
Yeah, it took them a minute to realize what happened.
There's really, I think, should have been a face mask there as well after he caught the ball, but that did not get called. So 1st and 10 for Jacksonville from the Marshall 38 after the interception. Man in motion is McGowan. Handoff going to go to Dede up the middle. Going to pick up a couple.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about things that can kind of even the playing field against, a team coming in that's been struggling and one that's had a great season so far, turnovers are a good place to start. If you're looking to pull an upset, if your Jacksonville plays like that last one, and really this first quarter, they've controlled the ball, they've moved the ball and protected it, and getting turnovers. If you're Marshall, you can't be happy with how this game has started off, and if you're Jacksonville, you're ecstatic.
Yeah, well said, Lee. Definitely. Turnovers always a big part of the game, but you're right. In a matchup like this, turnovers can really change things.
Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Has some room to run on the right side. Upended. Going to pick up about 2, so it'll be 3rd and 6.
Jacksonville is very content doing what they're doing. You're thinking, man, they're just 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Absolutely. That's what you want to do on an explosive Marshall offense that coming into the ball game, as I've said the 3rd time now, averaging 440 yards of total offense per ball game. That's a lot. And if you can control the football, even though you're a little bit behind the chains here on 3rd and 6, it's still convertible. We got Drew Dials
checks in at quarterback. Didi Mara's in the backfield alongside him. Flag going to come in.
See, that's what's going to happen when you change quarterbacks. And it's a different cadence, a different sound. Yep. Going to get Javon for motion right there, or movement. So now it makes it obviously a less makeable 3rd and 11. So Trent now may check back in for Drew. That was going to be a zone read, but not much of a read to it. He was going to pull that ball from Didi, and he was going to go, was Drew Dials, but the procedure kills that. So 3rd and 11, that pushes the ball back to the Maverick 40 for Jacksonville. Mavs leading 7-0 with 8:40 remaining here in this first half.
Clater in the backfield alongside Didi. Clater going to fake the handoff, rolling to his left, fires this one downfield. This one's going to be picked off.
That was just a heck of a play by DJ Godot. I'm telling you, not a bad throw. There's a flag down, but that was not a bad throw by Trent. A little bit behind Cam Thompson, the intended receiver, the sophomore tight end. But you got to give credit to Godot. He just jumped in front and makes the interception. It was a well-thrown ball. People say, how can you say it's a well-thrown ball when it's picked off? Because he made a good play. So the penalty is on Jacksonville for a legal receiver downfield. Even if Thompson catches it, it's not going to be a first down. It's another penalty.
So Jacksonville gets a pick, and then Marshall gets one shortly after. So they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
And Thompson for Jacksonville actually got his hands on the ball. I mean, it was not – it was contested. Again, just a good play by Godot with a pick, just like Brendan Richards did a moment ago for Jacksonville. So these two teams trade interceptions. Marshall with the ball back on their own 28.
Henderson going to send his man in motion around the left side. Lots of room to run for Sims. Finally going to be brought out, but a big gain for the Mavericks.
Big play, just the receiver going in motion. A little trap block on the defensive end for Jacksonville and kind of come back. Not a blind side, just a little chip, and that enables number 5, that's Sims, 6 foot 159, a senior, to bring it all the way down the field, deep into Jacksonville territory at the Fighting Indian 26-yard line.
Big play there for Marshall. It's going to be first and 10.
Biggest play by either team tonight so far.
Yeah. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Marshall from the Jacksonville 26. Henderson going to hand this one off to Bush, immediately met by several Indians and brought down. It's going to be no gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Mario Rodriguez, Ty Lindsey. Ty Lindsey, the senior defensive end, the first guy that made contact with Bush. Earlier, Gadsden, their starting running back, checked out of the ball game. He's still out of the game, and Sims, who had the big run a moment ago, looks like he may be, he's coming out in the slot. So I'm not sure who's in the backfield now for Marshall, but what a nice play by Lindsey. Oh, they got the little fella back there. Elias.
Henderson going to hand this one off. That ball's
loose.
Loose. Jacksonville, I think, jumped on it.
Jacksonville gets the fumble recovery. It was the David Carlisle, the fullback, and Mike Taylor comes up with a fumble recovery from Jacksonville.
I think he's the one that knocked it out as well. Big time play.
Yep, Mike Taylor, the senior.
3 turnovers in a row here on these last 3 drives for both teams.
Well, both defenses really showing up tonight.
They are.
Yeah, it's huge for Jacksonville to, on that drive with that giant play from Marshall, to be able to hold them to nothing on that drive after that big explosive play.
So 1st and 10 now for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to Didi. Immediately met in the backfield and slung down, so he's going to lose about 3.
Yeah, Trayvon Tucker got there first. Senior defensive lineman just got his hands on Didi Morris just did not let go and slung Didi down. So Dorsey will check out, and Jacksonville will go back to their H-back lineup with Josh Gaskin coming back in. So loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14.
One receiver each way for the Indians. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Has a burst up the middle, going to pick up 4, so it'll be 3rd and 9.
Just trying to get back some of those lost yards, put his head down. And they'll give him 5 on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Jacksonville as we go toward the 6-minute mark in the second quarter with Marshall with a 7-0 lead. But the Fighting Indians defense creating 2 turnovers in this first half.
Two receivers right. Clater going to fake his handoff. Finds Cam Thompson. Cam has lots of room to run. Gets out across midfield. A big play there from the Jacksonville offense.
Big Cam Thompson coming out from his tight end position, and what a well-thrown ball by Trent Clater, making sure he kept it away from the defense. And Cam Thompson looking like that Brownsburg game on that reception where he took it about the same distance.
He was completely uncovered there, too.
He really was. I mean, they just kind of left him alone. 48-yard line of Marshall, 1st down.
Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Makes the first guy miss. Going to pick up about 4.
Great balance by
I think they're going to spot it and give him 5. So it's going to be 2nd and 5 now for Jacksonville. Actually, they are going to back it up a yard.
Yep.
So it'll be 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, once again, it was Trayvon Tucker who got him for the loss a few minutes ago, getting in the backfield. So he's been a handful for Jacksonville's offensive line as Tucker. So 2nd and 7 for Jacksonville.
One receiver each way. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Has some room to run around the left side. Dede Mares with a great burst. EAG first down. EAG Ford first down yardage and more.
Oh, what a great push by that Jacksonville offensive line. Mancera, Coleman, and Cam Thompson on that left side. And you also had Josh Gaskin leading at the H-back. And, boy, what great patience that we've seen from Dede Mares all season long, waiting for that gap to develop. It does, and he gets the EAG Ford first down.
So 1st and 10 now for Jacksonville inside the Marshall 30. Handoff is going to go to Dede once again. Had some room to run around the left side. Going to pick up 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, we've talked about it all year long. It's a Jacksonville offense that brings a lot of defenses with up to 8 guys, 7, 8 guys in the box. And when you still are successful running the ball with those defenses rolling up on you like that, that says something about the push your offensive line's getting underneath the pads of the defense and getting that push, and then the patience of Dede showing.
2 receivers right. Dede Mares in the backfield once again. The handoff goes to him, trying to find some room around the right side. Nothing there for Dede. He's going to lose about 4.
Counter play did not work. Marshall stayed home.
So it's going to be 3rd and 11 now for Jacksonville.
Yeah, you're hoping that left defensive end for Marshall, number 51, you're hoping that he's going to follow that lead, and then as soon as Dede planted his foot, he stayed home, makes a tackle for the loss.
One receiver each way for Jacksonville. Dante Simmons going to go in motion. Clater takes a snap, looking to his left. Not much there. This one's going to be picked off. Jacksonville able to bring the man down for Marshall.
Yeah, that's a ball Trent should not have thrown. He was trying to get Brendan Richards on the little tunnel screen that they've run with Dante Simmons. And Brendan he just could not get untangled. And once he did get untangled, it was too late, and Trent decided to throw it into traffic. Can't throw that football right there. As soon as Brendan Richards got tangled up, you got to make another decision. You got to check down, throw it away, or just try to run with it.
So 1st and 10 for the Mavericks from their own 40-yard line.
Both teams with 2 turnovers defensively.
Henderson going to hand this one off to Bush around the left side. Zeke makes the tackle for Jacksonville, but a pickup of about 8.
Zeke Whitaker comes up to make the tackle for Jacksonville. By the way, Zeke is the 3rd leading tackler for the Fighting Indians defense.
So 2nd and 3 after the spot. Bush gets the handoff once again around the left side, going to pick up the first down and make his way across midfield.
Tripped up by Michael Miles, but it's going to be a Marshall first down. Well, 3 minutes and counting now in this first half of play. If you're Jacksonville right here, you just want to keep them out of the end zone and go into this halftime. You know, if you're only down 7-0, you really got something going to play in the second half, but you got to keep them out right here.
Henderson going to hand this one off. Elias with a good burst up the middle, brought down by Michael Miles, but another first down for Marshall.
Well, the offensive line for Marshall, those last 2 plays, they've been blowing Jacksonville's defensive line off the ball. And the D-line for Jacksonville, you know, Taylor, Calvin Boyd, Ty Lindsey, Dorsey, they've been playing great this first half. Those last 2 plays, boy, Marshall's got under their pads and knocked them back.
1 receiver each way for the Mavs. Henderson going to hand this one off to Elias around the left side, has a blocker in front of him, gets tripped up, but going to pick up another first down.
Well, he's 5'6", and he's hiding back there, and it was hard for Jacksonville to find number 23 of Marshall. And he skips up the field for another Maverick first down at the Jacksonville 21-yard line. Here's Mavs hurrying.
Marshall moving quickly. Henderson going to hand this one off to Elias once again around the left side. Brought down by Zeke and Elijah Benavidez. Going to pick up about 6.
Man, if I'm Jacksonville, I either pull a hamstring right here or or I call timeout. Somebody grab their hammy and fall, because Marshall is rolling here.
2nd and 4 for Marshall. 2 receivers right. Henderson under center. Elias, the lone back. He will get the handoff around the right side. Michael Miles able to wrap him up about the line of scrimmage.
Ooh, physical tackle by Miles.
No gain on the play, so it's going to be 3rd and 4.
Get some help from Goodwin, Dorsey, and now we got a first timeout of this first half. I believe Marshall will be taking it.
Yep.
With 1:16 remaining.
And Marshall going to take a timeout, and we'll take it with them. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. Marshall with a 3rd down at the Jacksonville 15-yard line.
Big play for both teams here, man. 3rd and 3. Henderson
going to fake the handoff, keep it himself, has some room to run, burst up through the middle, and gets in for the score.
Well, that's Henderson's MO right there. He's been a running quarterback. Hasn't shown much tonight until that run. Goes in for the score. 1:10 remaining. That's was a good timeout, obviously, for Marshall, because they call the right play. And now coming on for the extra point, Jesus Grimaldo out of the hold of Jack Weaver to try to make this a 14-0 Marshall lead.
Grimaldo on for the extra point. This one is up and good. So Marshall makes it 14 0. Just before halftime, 1:10 remaining. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live. Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
This glorious Whataburger is yours. A few minutes ago, it didn't even exist. Why? Because every Whataburger is 100% fresh beef and made to order. That means we didn't start cooking it until this exact moment, right here, when you ordered it into existence. Whataburger, just like you like it.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. Jesus Grimaldo has this one teed up for Marshall to kick it away. 1:10 left before halftime. Marshall leads Jacksonville 14-0. This one a little pooch, trying to get a surprise onside, going to be kicked out of bounds.
I'll tell you
so
what.
we'll have a flag come in.
Damian Smith Jr., he came out of the blocks right there, buddy, for Marshall. That was a bad kick. It looked like a bad kickoff, but, you know, he came about a foot from snagging that thing. It's going to be a penalty against Marshall.
I don't know if it was that close. He kicked it a good 5 yards out of bounds.
Oh, he did, but 12. Oh, yeah. But number 12 was like, I mean, you're right. But I'll put it this way.
He was moving.
He was moving closer to that football than I thought he was. I said, oh, nobody's going to get that. Oh, who's that? You know, so Jacksonville's going to get the football at their own 45 with 3 timeouts and with 1:10. So time to do something, get some yardage, and hey, maybe get down in field goal range for Casey Cardenas. His range is 40 at least.
So Jacksonville will start this drive from their own 44. Glader going to hand this one off to Dede. Not much there tonight for Dede. He's going to pick up about 2.
So who's calling this timeout?
Marshall is going to call a timeout.
Interesting. So Marshall believes they can get a stop here and get the ball back. Fans, stay with us. We'll talk to head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles halftime interview. We'll have a performance of the Jacksonville Cherokee Charmers, the Twirlers, Majorettes, if you're down south is what we call them, and the Jacksonville High School Band under the direction of Donnie Barrier. Halftime stats sponsored by Randy Gorham. Todd will be along for those.
They've got it marked 3rd down over there. It should be 2nd.
Yeah.
I think they're changing it. So 2nd and 8.
So Marshall has 1 timeout remaining, and Fighting Indians still with all 3 with 1:02 remaining. So Fighting Indians making a timeout substitution right here. They send Dorsey in at tight end. Gaskin will check out as the H-back. Fighting Indians going in with a different setup with the double tight ends.
So out of the timeout, 2nd and 8 for Jacksonville. Dede in the backfield with Trent Clater. Handoff goes to Dede around the left side. Nothing there. No gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 8, and Marshall will take their final timeout.
Same counter play that Jacksonville ran earlier that Marshall ran down from the backside. They did the same thing again as Tucker comes all the way around the edge, and as soon as Dede plants that foot, he's got Tucker grabbing at him and just wrestling him down from behind. So Marshall with their last time out with 56 seconds. It's 3rd down for Jacksonville and about 8 to go. So the Mavs feel like they can get the ball back here, force Jacksonville to punt. Fighting Indians will check Drew Dials in at quarterback here on 3rd down and 8. So you know
this is a big play call too.
It is. You know what's coming here. I mean, Drew's not coming in there to hand the ball off to Dede. Also bring in McGowan right here for Jacksonville, and maybe in the backfield for Dede, or is he coming in at wide receiver? Yeah, Dede will stay in at the running back position, and Dials, the senior, at quarterback.
So Drew Dials in at quarterback, trips right for Jacksonville. Going to fake the handoff to Dede. Has some room to run. Dials going to be tripped up. So it's going to be 4th and 4.
Had a gap there just for a moment, did Dials, and got tripped up, as you said. I mean, he had some space there to go through. So it's 4th down, and Jason Holman's going to play the clock right here and let it run down. 25 on the play clock, 33. He doesn't have to snap it until about 9 seconds to go. So Jacksonville most likely will call a timeout with about 9 seconds remaining in the first half. Let it run down here. This is good clock management by Jason Holman. Yep, 9 seconds. My Aggie math worked right there. All right. Hey. Stop emailing me. I got the math right. All right. So Marshall will get the ball back here if this is indeed a KC Cardenas punt.
It does appear that is going to be the call from who is standing in front of the coaches right now.
I would think so. I mean, I guess you could take the ball right here and maybe run around a little bit, but that's always a risky deal. And then maybe Marshall, you got to think about Jacksonville's had a couple of punts blocked this year, a couple of field goals blocked. So Jason Holman now calls the referee over to ask him a question. Gets his answer and comes back to the huddle. So Marshall hasn't yet sent anybody deep right there, so what does that tell you? KC will come out here to punt the football. So now Marshall will drop back someone here for KC's punt.
KC set to punt this one away. Good snap back. KC going to rugby this one over to the right side. Marshall not going to field it. Jacksonville needs to let this one roll out. And that will do it for the first half of play. Marshall leads Jacksonville 14-0 at the half.
Not a bad half by Jacksonville. I mean,
not a bad half at all.
I'm telling you, 14-0 deficit to a team like Marshall, averaging 40 points a ball game. Your defense has created 2 turnovers. Your offense has controlled the football, had good time of possession in the first half, converted some first downs. You got to be pleased if you're Jacksonville. But as Jason Holman always says, it's a 4-quarter game. First half's over. You got to come back with it. As I get swamped by the band here, this is going to be fun. This is like the railroad tracks here, me trying to go across and get Jason. So I'll walk down here and see if I can catch him. Y'all stay with me here. Yeah, he's looking for me. Here we go. Coach, great first half. I know you're down 14-0, but this is a great Marshall football team, and your defense has created 2 turnovers. Offense has been moving the ball and controlling, getting some first downs.
Yeah, playing well minus the turnovers of our own. That's the difference right now. We had some turnovers that we created, then we had turnovers we gave it to them, so we got to eliminate those.
Coach, pass coverage has been great. I know them running the football is that's their forte, and you've done a nice job, especially between the tackles, making tackles and taking good angles.
Yeah, we got to continue to play tough because they're physical, and we got to get more hats to the football and definitely wrap up because they'll pop loose.
Offensively, Dede's been pounding the rock, but you've also been able to complete some passes too.
Yeah, like I said, a couple of ill-advised throws that we shouldn't have thrown, but coming out throwing the ball the first play of the game. Hopefully we get Trent in the rhythm and continue to hit the open routes when we need to, but proud of the O-line and how they're working in the run of the football. So
you always talk about it's a 4-quarter game. You played a pretty good half. What is your message to your team at the half?
Well, it's 0-0. We get the ball to receive the ball to start the second half, so we got to come out, do something with it, and make it a one-possession game and get going.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles halftime interview. Guys, let's keep it here, and let's watch the Cherokee Charmers with their halftime performance.
All right, Matt, we'll leave it with you down on the field.
Charmer Sergeants for the 2024 to 2025 school year are Sergeant Kirsten McDaniel, Sergeant Kaylee Galvan, Sergeant and Chaplain Melody Scruggs, Head Sergeant Hazel Modesto. Charmer officers from left to right are First Lieutenant Ashton Washburn, Senior Lieutenant Andrea Hernandez, and in the center, your captain, Rebecca Orr. Charmer of the week is Marlene Rojas. Teacher of the week is Ms. Robinson. Tonight, the Charmers would like to dedicate their performance to all those who have been affected by breast cancer. Please enjoy our prom routine to Confident. The Charmers are under the direction of Cassidy Pinkston and Tiffany Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, the award-winning Cherokee Charmers. And now, introducing the Jacksonville Indian Majorettes, directed by Brianne G. Officers are Senior Lieutenant Angeles Grimaldo, First Lieutenant Andrea Tavera, and your Captain Juliana Salazar. Twirler of the week is Andrea Tavera. Watch now as the twirlers perform to You Shook Me All Night Long. band will perform Vienna Philharmonic Fanfare, New Colonial March, the Melody Shop Trio, and St. Julian March. Now, at the center of the field, one of the most decorated military marching bands in the state of Texas. That classic look, that awesome sound, that cry heard across the land. The Jacksonville Fine Indian Band.
Jacksonville High School band here on the Whataburger halftime report. Marshall leading Jacksonville 14-0 at the half. There's their halftime performance by the Charmers, the Twirlers, and the Jacksonville High School band. Guys, I'm going to turn the mic off now so I don't mess you guys up, so throw it back to y'all.
All right, thank you, Matt. Welcome into the booth for the Whataburger halftime report. Another great performance from the Jacksonville High School band. They actually have marching contest tomorrow in Longview, so if you have some free time tomorrow, make sure to make it up there and support the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band. And before we get into some stats here at halftime, let's go ahead and take a look at this week's Ask the Indians.
Texas, hook 'em. LSU,
Alabama,
Texas,
all the
way.
TCU,
Texas,
Ohio
Georgia,
State,
Texas, baby.
Ohio State, you got Georgia, Ohio,
Georgia,
Texas.
I'm gonna go Georgia too.
I gotta go with Texas.
Hook 'em, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Welcome into the booth here in Maverick Stadium for the Whataburger halftime report. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Randy Gorham for sponsoring our statistics here at halftime and at postgame. And some mixed answers there on who would win the college football playoff.
It looked like they had a really good time
they
with
did.
that
They
one.
had a really good time. They were very enthusiastic about Texas winning national championship. And right now it looks like there's a good shot that is correct. So we'll see. Texas and Georgia play this weekend. There were lots of answers for both of those teams from the guys. So we'll see how that goes. But let's go ahead and take a look at some first half stats here.
All right, first half, our Indians passing, Trent Clater, 3 completions on 6 attempts for a total of 37 yards and 2 interceptions. Rushing, Dede had 18 carries for 42 yards with a long run 15. And Drew Dials had 1 carry for 4 yards. Receiving, Cam Thompson, 1 catch for 25 yards. And Dante Simmons, 2 catches for 12 yards.
I mean, statistically, it doesn't look super great at halftime, but I mean, the story has been turnovers, I would say, in this game. Marshall's up 14-0. Jacksonville, I think, has played exceptionally well defensively in the first half. We've had a couple picks for both teams, or I think maybe 2 for Jacksonville, 1 for Marshall, and a fumble, but 2 turnovers for both teams here in the first half. And I mean, you talked about it a little bit there, how big it is to get those turnovers.
Yeah.
But you heard it from Coach Holman there right before halftime. We've got to be able to control the ball too. Like the second one that Trent threw, for sure, he should have just thrown away. There was nothing there, and he was trying to make something happen.
You can see he kind of altered his pass, trying to make it happen.
He did,
and that was at the end of the best Jacksonville drive offensively. That was on the back of a Marshall turnover.
Yes.
And Jacksonville controls the ball, moves it all the way down the field. And so, like you mentioned, Coach Holman, in the halftime interview coming into halftime, the turnovers that we're forcing are great. We got to stop giving the ball back. And he mentioned it would be a much different game if Jacksonville had not given the ball away those 2 times and still was able to get those 2 turnovers. So impressive night for the defense. And if Jacksonville can hold on to the ball in the second half, 2 scores is not an insurmountable deficit to go into this second half.
It's definitely not, and it's good that Jacksonville's getting the ball first, so they can go down and score. That closes it to 1. Then you got a game on your hands. And, you talk about momentum in high school football and how big that is and how big it is to create those turnovers, but you'd almost rather just turn it over by a punt. You'd rather punt the ball
than have the
interceptions because that's a big boost for the other team as well.
Yeah, the one, I don't remember if it was the first or second interception, but it was 3rd down, 3rd and long. So, in a way, we were going to be punting on the next down probably anyway.
Yeah.
But what did wind up about a 10-yard interception where with their field position at that point, the punt would have probably pinned them deep.
Sure. Yeah. And especially with a weapon like KC.
He's done a great job.
He's done a great job. He's done a great job here tonight as well. When he's had the punt.
We've seen him pin the guys on the 2-yard line once or twice this season. So, I mean, if you can give them terrible starting field position, that helps your defense too, because they don't have quite as much pressure. I mean, they have to go, 95 yards or something, and that's just
it's hard to get an opportunity for a safety.
It is.
If you don't have them working out of the end zone. So
yeah, definitely. And I mean, yes, I'm sure Marshall would be excited that they held us to a punt, but nowhere near as excited as they are when they pick the ball
get a
off.
turnover. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's been momentum swings for both teams in that first half with each team turning the ball over twice. But Jacksonville, even though they still have yet to score in this game, they've been able to move the ball. There have been a few drives where they've been shut down pretty quickly, but from their first possession of the game where they immediately get a first down, they've been able to move the chains here tonight. They haven't gotten into the end zone yet, and hopefully they can get on the board pretty quickly here in this second half, getting the ball first. But that 0 on the scoreboard, that's even a little deceptive. They've been able to move the ball, and some of those turnovers have been untimely and have ended some drives, but they haven't been completely shut down on offense. Our passing game has moved the ball more than they have in most of the games this year. We've been able to, hit a few big plays in the passing game. Cam Thompson getting out and getting 25 yards, kind of uncovered in the flat, and that's what Jacksonville has tried to take advantage of all year long. They've been able to move the ball on the ground, and so you would think that set up the play action, that set up some of the kind of getting Trent out on the move into the flat and hitting people down the field, and tonight that's worked better than most games. So if they can hit on some of those in the second half.
And you can see Marshall's not worried about us throwing the ball. How open was Cam on that pass?
He was wide. There was no one within 10 yards.
Nobody within 10.
And another thing that we may see in this second half that happened a few times in the first half is Trent, on a lot of our running plays, will fake the pull, where he pulls around and acts like he's running on a bootleg, and that always pulls the defender with him. But on several of those in the first half, absolutely no defender covers that fake. And so if the Jacksonville coaches see that at halftime and see it on tape, maybe he keeps it on one of those and is able to get a bunch of yardage, because on a couple of those in the first half, he was completely unguarded on that bootleg fake.
He was.
Yeah, let's quickly take a look at Marshall's stats here from the first half. Marshall Band has just started their halftime performance, so I think we're going to run a little long here of the 4.5 minutes.
We got more time to fill than that 4.5.
I'm pretty sure we do, yes. Marching contest is tomorrow. Both bands are doing their full show. They're getting their last practice in, so yeah, I think we're probably going to run a little bit long here.
So for Marshall for the first half, passing, Henderson, 2 completions on 5 attempts for 35 yards, and he had 1 interception. Receiving, Sims had 2 catches for 35 yards. Rushing, Bush had 11 carries for 67 yards and 1 touchdown. Sims had 1 carry for 46 yards. Quarterback Henderson, 2 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. Gatson, 6 carries for 19. And a couple other guys touched the ball, but no gain on both of those. So,
yeah, I mean, Jacksonville's done a really good job of containing the explosive plays as well. Marshall's had to convert at least 1 4th down, if not.
They're 1 for 1 on 4th, 3 out of 6 on 3rd down.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jacksonville's defense is, getting them to that 3rd, that 4th down. They kept them. They went 3 and out to start the game, which was huge.
Huge start for us.
Huge start. I mean, we've talked about how important it is to have Jacksonville's defense on the field to start the game.
That's as good a start.
That's as good a start as you could ask for, especially against Marshall, who's got a lot of weapons. They score 40 points a game. It's a big
to hold them to
play,
14 in the first half.
But it's also just a big play to come out as a severe underdog and make them go 3 and out. I mean, that was just a huge start for Jacksonville.
Immediately move the ball on offense. Jacksonville's first possession on offense, 8 yards on the first play, and then I think 6 on the second. So just immediately moving the chains. It's confidence boosting, and you can see that all through the first half. You talked about limiting big plays outside of the reverse that went for a lot of yardage for Marshall.
They had that
one
pretty big
play
pass
right on
the sideline.
That's really the only two that I can
big
think
plays,
of.
that's it.
Absolutely. Jacksonville has kept everything in front of them. They've tackled well tonight. That's one thing we need to talk about is the linebackers especially running
Even
to the ball,
Zeke coming out
wrapping
from the
up.
safety position.
Absolutely,
He's made several big tackles tonight.
Yeah, it's been impressive, the Jacksonville defense, getting to the ball, wrapping up, not allowing broken tackles and extra yardage. Credit Jacksonville's defense for keeping this, a low-scoring game in the first half. If Jacksonville can find some offense, this is going to be a really interesting game where, like you said, Jacksonville comes in as a severe underdog, and we're getting a competitive game here tonight through 2 quarters. So can't wait to see how Jacksonville
The
starts.
receiver for Marshall on that sideline catch was really a phenomenal play.
It really was. Great
I
throw,
think
great
I think
catch.
Brendan thought he was out of bounds and kind of relaxed a little bit, and he just
But he
stopped
was
on the
he
edge
was
and
in good position,
held his
and
toes in and caught the ball. So I mean, it was.
Credit Marshall. Great throw. Great.
I really
catch.
thought it was going to be out of bounds sitting here watching it.
It was very close. The receiver did a great job getting the foot down.
Yeah. So really fun first half of football. Two teams playing well. Both defenses playing well.
Yeah, Jacksonville's just got to have some offense here to start the second half.
Definitely need a spark.
we're gonna.
It's pretty unusual to see both teams just run
It
heavy.
is. Yeah.
Marshall has 151 yards rushing. We have 46, but almost all the plays have been rushing in this game,
Right.
and so that moves the clock, keeps it moving because
It does.
A pretty quick
It
first
seemed
half,
like it was
but
a pretty quick first half. I mean, it's 8:51, and we're at the end of
Finishing halftime.
basically. So it's been a pretty quick moving game. But I mean, Jacksonville's only scoring 12 points a game, and you're down 14. Like, you got to find another gear. You got to dig deep coming out of halftime. You got to go down and score. If they don't score here, I mean, they're really going to have a hard time coming back in the second half. So this first possession, this first drive of the second half is going to be huge for Jacksonville. You guys have anything else for halftime? All right, well, thank you to Randy Gorham for sponsoring our halftime statistics. Looks like the Marshall Band is about to wrap up their halftime show, so we'll take a short break, and then we'll be back for the second half of play.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
We'd like to thank this week's team meal sponsor, Blue Goose Customs and Fabrication. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
That 100% beef Whataburger takes 2 hands and all of your attention. So yeah, now's the time to sneak that fry. Good thing there's plenty to savor. Good thing there's Whataburger.
Come see us at Dairy Queen on South Jackson before or after every Fightin' Indian game to try our family favorites meal. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs. Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. Both teams have made their way out of the locker room. We're just about ready to begin the second half of play.
A couple of scores of interest in the district. White House tangling with Nacogdoches tonight. White House with a 22-13 lead at the half. And Texas High was kind of close a minute ago, but it's 42-7 over Mount Pleasant at the half. Hallsville has the bye this week. Next week, Jacksonville will host Mount Pleasant at the Tomato Bowl for the home finale. It'll be senior night. Always a great night to honor all the seniors. Football, cross country, band, twirlers, charmers, everybody. It's a great night at Tomato Bowl. Hope to see you there. So we're about set to go here. Jacksonville gets the football. 14-0 Marshall with the lead at the half. As we get started in this third quarter, Fighting Indians will have Dante Simmons and McGowan deep to get this kickoff. We're set to go, and here's Ryan.
Jesus Grimaldo going to boot this one over to the left side. McGowan going to catch it out of bounds, so it's going to be a kick out of bounds. So Jacksonville will have pretty good field position to start their opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, people, that's something that's overlooked, but that's pretty good football sense by McGowan right there. He knew the ball was going to go out of bounds, but he didn't take a chance that the referee might see that thing bounce back in, so he just goes out of bounds and steps out and catches it. So the Indians will get the benefit of the penalty. That'll move it to the 30 as we get ready to start this third quarter. Guys, I was unable to hear the statistics at the half for Jacksonville. How many yards did Dede have, and Fighting Indians total yards? I didn't catch that.
I think Dede had 46, or maybe he had 42.
Hard yards.
I think we may have had 46 yards rushing, and I think Drew Dials had a couple. So maybe 42.
Okay.
42 yards rushing for Dede. So Indians set to start the third quarter. Cam Thompson going to switch ends here. Two receivers right, one left. Handoff on first down. Going to go to Dede. Immediately met behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 3, so 2nd and 13 now for Jacksonville.
Well, that's that Trayvon Tucker again. He has been a handful tonight for Jacksonville to get blocked. He's 6'2", 211. Not a large defensive lineman, but I know why he's up there. He can get around those blocks. He can shoot the gap. He's quick, almost like a linebacker playing on the defensive line. Makes the tackle for the loss of 4, 2nd and 14.
Jacksonville going to go trips left now. Dede in the backfield with Clater. Clater going to roll to his left. Needs to throw this one away, and he does.
See, that's a great decision there. That's what he should have done a minute ago. In the first half when he threw it in traffic. So he throws it out of bounds. So
now 3rd and long for Jacksonville.
So Jacksonville will check Trent Clater out at quarterback, and Drew Dials will come in.
Jordan Dorsey also into the game for Jacksonville.
Drew can throw the football. Now, don't be surprised here to see him put it in the air. He has a strong arm.
One receiver each way for the Indians. 3rd and 13. Drew going to be met behind the line of scrimmage.
Landon Jones with a tackle from behind. It was a zone read, and it looked like Mars was trying to take the ball, and Drew was trying to pull it, and they kind of both got tackled by Landon Jones because both of them kind of had their hands on the ball. It's a big loss in the play, so Jacksonville goes 3 and out on the opening possession
Yeah, it's kind of awkward on the exchange there.
Yeah,
it was kind of coming towards us, and you couldn't really tell who was supposed to end up with the ball there.
Yeah, and you think about it. We talked about it already. I mean, first game back for Drew since center. I mean, he's got to get back to the swing of things.
Good snap back for KC. This one high.
Got a flag on this side.
Right. Out of bounds. Not a great punt there from KC. We'll see where they spot it. I think they're going to spot him about the 34 of Jacksonville.
Let's see if it's offsides on Marshall or is it a procedure call. Side judge over here threw it. So it's going to go against Marshall for being offsides. Not going to be near enough to get the first down.
But it's good for Jacksonville because that was a 13-yard punt. So KC will have the opportunity to get a do-over from 5 yards further up the field. Maybe he can get a better boot on this one.
Didn't you like do-overs as a punter after punts like that? Usually you got to have the walk of shame to the sideline. And
well,
man, now you got the do-over.
Ryan Travis has never had a punt like that. What are you talking about,
I'm sorry.
man? Come on.
I don't know what I'm thinking. My fault. So they're getting it all straightened out as the officials now having to go back and move it 5 yards up the field. There you go. The ball will be spotted at the 26 now. Little scat back beat down, back deep. Keonta Elias for Marshall, the 5'6" wonder. He's quick. Let's see what KC does here.
Good snap back for KC. Marshall bringing the house there. KC able to get it off. Elias
He's having trouble back there.
Goes down, so pretty
second
good.
bobble for him.
That was a much better punt for KC.
I think they picked up about almost 20 yards there, maybe, on the 5 yards on the penalty, and then he got the good
at least.
punt. Yeah,
I think they marked it out at the 34 of Jacksonville a moment ago, and it's about at the opposite 39.
Yeah,
so
pretty good swing there.
Pretty good swing there for Jacksonville. So Marshall will take over 1st and 10 from their own 39. One receiver each way. Henderson going to go under center. Bush the back for Marshall. Handoff goes to Bush around the right side. Jacksonville trying to bring him down. Zeke finally able to make the tackle, but a pickup of 8.
Just a power run. They got the tackle pulling. Bush gets behind that big tackle, and they get up the field for the 8 yards. And you don't like to see your safeties making a lot of tackles like that. But so Jacksonville now defensively, after the offense goes 3 and out, 2nd and 2 here for Marshall.
One receiver each way for the Mavericks. Bush in the backfield. Henderson going to fake the handoff to him, sets up, lets this one fly down the field, has his man, and Sims on the reception in for the Marshall touchdown.
53 yards on the touchdown from Henderson to Sims. Just a straight go route, got past Maverick Kincaid. And Kincaid was playing catch up the whole time, and that ball was snapped. Just didn't get over the top of him. The Mavs score first here in this third quarter.
Grimaldo in to attempt the extra point. Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee, and this one from Jesus Grimaldo is up and good. So Marshall, after the big pass play, now leads Jacksonville 21-0. 9:37 here left in the third. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Come see us at Dairy Queen on South Jackson before or after every Fightin' Indian game to try our family favorites meal. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good. Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs.
welcome back to Maverick Stadium. Marshall takes a 21-0 lead over Jacksonville, 9:37 left in the third. Jesus Grimaldo has this one teed up for the Mavericks. Set to kick it away. High ball deep left for Grimaldo, going to be fielded by McGowan. McGowan trying to get a good return, gets out across the Jacksonville 20.
Pretty good return. Stopped abruptly. I thought he had something there, and then Marshall closes down on McGowan. McGowan's a guy that Jacksonville wants the ball in his hands. You know, he's primarily a defensive player, but Jason Holman said we might see him some this week on offense. Haven't seen him yet. Hasn't been involved in any of the packages just yet.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 22. Dede in the backfield with Trent Clater. 2 receivers left. Handoff goes to Dede, trying to be patient. There's not much there for Dede. He's going to pick up 1.
Just stacking the box. Marshall is pretty much 8 guys in the box. They got 2 safeties playing high. Cornerback out here. Strong side, they roll up the other corner. Pretty tight press coverage. So I guess you could say it's really 7 in the box, but still, Marshall is really loading it up there. And not much room for Dede to go.
So 2nd and 9 now. Clater going to fake the handoff, looking to his left. That one broken up by Jaden Cooks. That one was very dangerous there from Trent. Almost picked off.
Tell you what, even if that ball's not tipped right there, it may be a pick 6. They were jumping that route quickly, as it was intended for Zeke Whitaker on the slant route. If you're going to throw that, you got to throw it sooner. And it did get tipped, but man, if that had not have been tipped, ugh.
Two receivers left, 1 right. Man in motion is McGowan. Clater drops back, looking to his right. Throws this one out of bounds. Nothing there. There is a flag down on the far sideline.
Trent just hurrying as he had pressure, and just a wobbly throw, just got rid of it faster than he wanted to. His mechanics kind of broke down on him a little bit right there. That flag thrown, typically that looks like it could be against Jacksonville. And on a legal formation, that is the call. It'll be declined by Marshall, and Jacksonville will go 3 and out again.
So 3 and out for Jacksonville. They'll bring KC on to punt this one away. We talked about it at halftime, how important these first drives here in the third quarter were going to be for Jacksonville. And so far, nothing really doing on offense for the Tribe. KC back to punt this one away. Good snap back. Got to be quick. KC, this one high. Going to be fair caught just beyond midfield. He did drop it. Able to get back on it was Tyler Johnigan. So Marshall will take over 1st and 10 just inside their half.
Yeah, just offensively, these first 2 drives, not good. I mean, there's no other way to say it. You go 3 and out on both of them, and Marshall scored in their opening drive on the big pass for the score. And this is the kind of game right here that if you don't get a stop right here and you give up another score here, it can get away from you in a hurry.
Yeah, Jacksonville defense needing to come up big on this drive. So 1st and 10 for Marshall. Henderson going to go under center, 1 receiver each way. Bush in the backfield. Actually, Lias in the backfield. Handoff goes to him up the middle. Going to pick up the 1st down.
Just gashing Jacksonville on the run right there off tackle. The Mavericks just starting running back in the ball game went out early. That's Gadsden. He only had 19 yards rushing for Marshall in the first half, leading rusher, and he went out with an ankle injury, but the Mavericks just plugged somebody else in, and they continue to roll.
So 1st and 10 from inside Jacksonville territory after the big gain from Lias. He remains alone back in the backfield. Handoff going to go to him around the right side. Makes a man miss. He's going to pick up about 7. So it'll be 2nd and 3.
Drew Dials on the tackle for Jacksonville. Hey, I want to congratulate the Jacksonville 9th grade last night. They beat Marshall by a score of 44-38 at Tomato Bowl. That moves the freshmen to 6-2 on the season.
A big win for the freshman football team last night. They're having a great season. 2nd and 3 now for Marshall. Henderson going to hand this one off to Bush around the left side. He will pick up the first down.
Harrison Penn will check in. That's safety for Jacksonville. Zeke will check out. So first down for Marshall, Jacksonville 23-yard line.
One receiver each way for the Mavericks. Bush in the backfield. Handoff goes to him around the right side. And he will be marked right at the first down marker. It looks like they're going to give it to him. So 1st and 10 now for Marshall inside the Jacksonville 15.
Yeah, they're just roughing up Jacksonville right now. There's no way to say it. They're just getting physical, and the Fighting Indians are going to have to get physical back. You can't just lay there and take it. You got to fight back. And right now the defense is tired after their offense went 3 and out. Defense has been on the field the majority of this third quarter with 6 minutes, right at 6 minutes to go. First down, Mavs.
Henderson going to hand this one off. Bush goes up the middle. Pretty good run. Going to pick up about 5.
Elijah Harris checks in for the first time defensively, and coming off that ankle injury from a few weeks ago, Harris got a lot of reps this week at running back, but we haven't seen him yet run the football for the Fighting Indians offensively. So 2nd and 5, Jacksonville 8-yard line.
One receiver each way. Marshall now inside the Jacksonville 10. Henderson going to hand this one off to Bush. Goes up the middle. Going to get to about the 5.
Well,
So it'll be 3rd down.
Great job by Calvin Boyd right there, just stopping it up. We got a Maverick down on the field. It's big number 75, Jay Howard. Get this size, 5'10", 327. So as they check on Howard, let's take a break.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
I'm Matt Montgomery. For over 40 years, my business has helped people manage their money and organize their financial life. I'm a registered investment advisor with the state of Texas and chartered financial consultant. Whether you need portfolio management or comprehensive financial planning, I can help you. Call me for a free consultation. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. Jay Howard able to make his way off under his own power, so hopefully he is okay. And Marshall with a 3rd and 2, I believe. Henderson going to hand this one off to Lias around the left side, and he is in for the score.
Well, the Mavericks just had Jacksonville resting. I shouldn't say resting, but they had him off balance, if you will. They sprinted out of the huddle, and it was a quick snap, and Jacksonville was still getting set defensively, and it's clear they didn't get set enough because Marshall goes in from 8 yards out for the score to push this lead to 27-0 with the extra point now from Grimaldo coming.
Jesus Grimaldo in to attempt the extra point. This one is up and good. So Marshall now leads Jacksonville 28-0. with 5:01 left in the third. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
Welcome back to Mavericks Stadium. Marshall now leading Jacksonville 28-0. 5:01 left in the third. Jesus Grimaldo has this one teed up for the Mavericks.
Boy, no doubt Jacksonville, I said this the last drive, they got to do something here. I mean, this thing can get out of hand. This is a high-scoring Marshall team. You don't want them to get on a roll right here and make you look too bad. You were playing great in the first half. Get that back.
Grimaldo going to punch this one over to Dede. Dede able to field it. Brought down at about the Jacksonville 38.
Good field position. So let's see what offensive coordinator Danny Ramsey has in mind here as the Elijah Harris looks like he is going to come in the backfield here for some snaps. That's what I just said a moment ago. You know, he had a good week of practice running the football. Dede will check out for the first time and give him a breather after getting that kickoff return. Dede gets it to the 38. And Elijah Harris gets in the backfield. I believe this may be the first time this year except for the scrimmage against Palestine. Am I right? Yeah.
No, he had a couple carries in one of the home games a couple weeks ago, but he gets the handoff on first down, fighting for some yardage. A pretty good pickup here for Elijah Harris.
Yeah, he's
pick up 7.
You know, he's a slashing type runner. He's a guy that will get up in the hole and accelerate quickly. JV running back last year, their number one running back as a junior, now a senior. Nice carry there for 8.
2 receivers right for Jacksonville. Handoff goes to Harris around the left side. Nothing there for Elijah. Going to lose few on the play.
Yeah, just a missed block there, I think, by Cam Thompson. Looking at the coaches, and they were talking to him. Jamario Coleman, who's been fighting an ankle injury for several weeks now, missed a couple of ball games, coming back tonight for the first time and limps off the field. As those high ankle sprains, man, I've had them. They're hard to get over. You just keep tweaking them.
So 3rd and 7 now for Jacksonville. Elijah Harris in the backfield with Trent Clater. Suarez Mosley goes in motion. Clater trying to find Deontay. That one behind him, incomplete. So 4th down now for Jacksonville.
Man, just had it set up right there, and Trent just sailed it. I mean, he just didn't even come close to Dante, who had a touchdown catch last week on a laser thrown by Trent on that touchdown at Tomato Bowl. I mean, it was the same play. This one just sailed on him. So here's KC to punt the football. It's the Fighting Indians' 3rd time in this 3rd quarter they've gone 3 and out. Still without a first down in the second half.
KC, good snap back to him. This one to the right, going to be fielded by number 4, Tyler Jonigan. He's pushed out of bounds.
Well, he caught it like he had a fair catch, and all of a sudden he said, you know what, I didn't raise my arm. He took off, and Jacksonville was kind of thinking he called fair catch too.
So they're going to spot him about the Marshall 40, so they will have 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line.
Well, there was a flag somewhere. Yep, they're talking to Jason Holman, so it's obviously against Marshall. Maybe offsides against the Mavs. Still would not be enough to give Jacksonville a first down.
No, but maybe another one of those where you would like a second
Well,
punt at it.
you would go for it right here, I would think. I mean, if you get 5 yards here, and that's what you're going to do. Jacksonville sending their offense out on the field. And let's see if it is indeed offsides. Let me see. Here's the call by the official. He'll come over and tell us. 12 men on the field. Remains 4th down. It's the 5-yard penalty. So 4th down and a yard to go.
4th and 2.
4th and 2. Yeah, I'm not doing very good at not looking at these chains.
I can see it pretty clear from where I'm sitting. It's going to be 4th and 2. So Jacksonville going to send the offense out onto the field. Later going to come in.
It'll be Dede
in the shotgun with Dede Mares in the backfield alongside him. Simmons, the lone receiver. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Good push from the offensive line. And Dede Mares gets the EAG forward first down.
That's what you got to do when the opponents make a mistake. You got to take advantage of it, and Jacksonville did, getting their first down here in this second half with 3:12 remaining.
So 1st and 10 inside Marshall territory. Clater going to hand this one off to Dede. Goes around the left side. Dede fighting for some yards. Going to pick up about 4.
Yeah, fight indeed right there as Elijah Harris will check in for Dede getting up off the pile just now. I mean, there was a bunch of Mavericks laying on top of Dede. See, Dede is, Elijah, you got to tell him you're checking in for him. Dede just walks in. Are you in? He said, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, you're out. Communicate there.
So 2nd and 6 now for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to Elijah Harris. Has some room to run around the right side. Going to be pushed out of bounds, but a big EAG forward first down for Elijah Harris.
Great decision by Elijah right there. It was all bottled up between the tackles, and he bounced it out. And the great thing that he did was he knew that he had to accelerate. He shifted into 3rd gear, and he kicked it. And he gets the EAG forward first down. It's the best field position for Jacksonville, guys, in a long time. Maybe in the first quarter they got down this far.
I think we were down this way in the second quarter, but
yeah,
this is definitely the best drive so far.
Yep.
They got lucky with the penalty there. That saved the drive for sure. So 1st and 10, Jacksonville getting close here on the play clock. They do get the snap off. Handoff goes to Elijah Harris around the left side, going to pick up about 2.
Pushes it to the 33 of Marshall.
They were very close on the play clock there. I think they snapped that with 1 second left.
Yeah, I was wondering why they were hurrying. They just took a while to get it. They are starting that play clock immediately after Elijah Harris hits the ground. So they're still trying to get the play in the play clock at 20. Got time.
2nd and 8 now for the Indians. McGowan in the backfield with Clater.
Jacksonville moved. They're going to get Thompson. As you said, McGowan with his first look in the backfield. So move it back 5 yards. 2nd down now and 12?
I think it's going to be 2nd and 13 after the penalty.
So they'll keep McGowan in the backfield. 2nd and 13.
Two receivers right for Jacksonville. Clater going to hand this one off to McGowan.
Slicing
Pretty good
there.
run there
Yeah.
for Jordan McGowan.
How you like that for a pop right there? Got a Marshall Maverick down on the field. It's Jaden Cooks. They got 2 Mavericks down. That was a punishing play by Jacksonville on Marshall. They got 2 guys coming out right now. Number 14, Jalen Brown, and Cooks is still down. So let's take a break.
We'd like to thank this week's team meal sponsor, Blue Goose Customs and Fabrication. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the... Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. Injured players able to make their way off the field. So Jacksonville now with 3rd and 5. McGowan in the backfield with Clater. Clater looking for McGowan.
Just wasn't looking. Well, new personnel, maybe not used to certain things. That would have been – that's that play that I think Todd was talking about during a break that they ran earlier in the season, I think, against Brownsboro very successfully, back coming out of the backfield, and it was McGowan, and he never turned around. And I think Trent threw a really good ball right there. If McGowan turns around, he's still running with the ball, McGowan. Incomplete. 4th down. Obviously, 4-down territory. You're down 20-0. You're going for it.
Dede.
5 seconds remaining on the delay of game
call
clock.
Timeout.
Jacksonville going to take a timeout, and we'll take it with them. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. 4th and 5 for Jacksonville. Coming out of the timeout, 1:04 left in the 3rd. Big down here for Jacksonville. Dede in the backfield with Trent Clater.
Jacksonville short somebody.
Gaskin making his way onto the field. Zeke and Dante Simmons out wide for the Indians. Clater drops back, looking over the middle for Gaskin. That one thrown behind him, almost picked off, incomplete. Jacksonville turns it over on downs.
And again, in Trent's defense, he's having to get rid of that football way before Josh Gaskin is in his route, and just pressure in his face by number 51, Brandon Richardson of Marshall. Not a bad pass. He just if he could just waited just a second and let Gaskin clear that safety, and it actually hit the safety in the hands. So Jacksonville gives the ball up on downs. 59 seconds remaining in the third quarter that's been kind of tough for Jacksonville, to say the least.
I mean, that was the best drive, and it was saved by a penalty.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for Marshall from their own 30. 2 receivers left. Henderson looking that way, finds Sims. Sims makes a move to the outside. Finally brought down. Big hit there from Goodwin.
That is definitely a candidate for the bone crusher here to the game, sponsored by Dar Chiropractic. What a hit by Jaqueline Goodwin. Not before Sims picks up a solid 9 yards on the play. Just a little hot route, but boy, did Goodwin come over there right in front of the Marshall bench and delivered the hay shot. Lee Traylor, you remember those hay shots, don't you?
I do. Well, no, not really. I know they happened, but
not really. I don't remember them.
So 2nd and 1 for the Mavericks. Bush in the backfield. He gets the handoff around the left side. Pretty good pickup there. Going to go out of bounds near midfield. Good for 1st down yardage.
Michael Miles with another tackle for Jacksonville. So first down, Marshall. This will be the last play of this third quarter. 28-0 Marshall.
One receiver each way once again for the Mavericks. Handoff goes to Bush around the right side. Pretty good run there. Going to be brought down just past the first down marker. So 1st and 10 inside the Jacksonville 40 now for the Mavericks.
That'll be it for the third. They'll switch ends.
While they switch ends, we will step away. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
For the first day of school, for the last day of work, for the satisfaction of a job well done, for the ideas that change the world, for good times, for not so good times, for her future and hers and his, for serving our customers and connecting communities. We're here with you for good. Austin Bank, with you for good.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium for the start of the fourth quarter. Jacksonville trailing Marshall. Marshall has a 1st and 10 from the Jacksonville 39-yard line. Keontae Elias in the backfield for the Mavericks. Henderson under center once again. Pitch goes to Elias around the right side. Finally brought down. But another first down for Marshall on this drive. I'm sure we'll look at it at the end of the game. But Keontae Elias is very explosive. He's got to be averaging at least 8 yards a play, if not more.
I mean, it's like trying to tackle a fire hydrant. I mean, he's 5'6", about 190. Just a solid little dude, man.
Kind of reminds me of Deuce Vaughn.
They say 157 on here. There's no way. That dude, look at his legs. His legs weigh 157. He's stout. Yeah, there's
flag
a move.
Gonna come in.
That's on Elias. He knows it.
So false start on Marshall. That'll back him up 5. Yeah, Keontae Elias kind of reminds me of Deuce Vaughn. And I don't know how exactly they would compare weight-wise, but, Deuce Vaughn's
he's about that 5'6", 5'7".
About 5'6".
Yeah. Yeah.
Very speedy, had a great career at Kansas State. Hadn't played much in the NFL, but he's also 5'6". Most of those guys are much bigger than he is. Henderson drops back looking for his left.
Did
McGowan picked that off.
McGowan picked that off, man.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Jacksonville ball.
Look
at this play on the replay from McGowan. He turns around. It kind of hits him in the stomach, it looks like, and he just somehow is able to swallow it up and pick that off. What a play.
It looked like his belly button just sucked the ball in. I mean, he was completely turned around. Hey. You got
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
I mean,
I don't know how
the referees
that.
The referees have got to get a hold of that thing. I mean, our coaches are pointing, and they're just the referees have got to get a hold of that thing. Okay, now they do. Anyway, what an unbelievable interception by Jordan McGowan. I mean, he was all over the receiver, and the receiver's trying to reach over him. McGowan turns around, and the ball hits him right in the stomach, tucks it away for the pick. So the Fighting Indians get their third turnover, second interception. And guys, remember, last year, Jacksonville did not have an interception all year long. Not one. 0. They got a few fumbles, and tonight they've got 2 picks and a fumble recovery. 3 turnovers against the Mavs.
The turnover battle has been much better this season than it was last year.
And they
we couldn't have bought a turnover last year, and we've got 3 in this game.
And they practice creating turnovers. Jacksonville does that all week long, and they practice that, and it sure has shown here in 2024.
So after the huge interception from Jordan McGowan, Jacksonville takes over 1st and 10 from their own 20. Handoff on 1st down goes to Didi around the right side. Not much there once again for Didi Mares. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Boy, Didi is going to be sore in the morning. He is taking some shots tonight, still trucking, still running hard. As the offensive line for the Fighting Indians, not a bad job tonight. They're just going up against a very quick Marshall defense.
2 receivers left for Jacksonville. Handoff goes to Didi, immediately met in the backfield, swallowed up, going to lose 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, Marshall just gets off the block quickly. Of course, Marshall in 2nd place in District 7 5A Division II after losing last week by 1 to Texas High. If they go out and win out, of course, they go in as a 2nd place team. And, you know, Marshall is a team that has the talent. I think they're just not as disciplined as they should be if they want to make a deep playoff run. But they have no doubt they have talent. They're a very talented football team.
Didi in the backfield with Trent. Trent looking downfield, trying to find Zeke. Throws this one up. Zeke not able to bring it in. Flag comes in. Should be pass interference.
I mean, it was a wounded duck. And as Zeke was trying to come back for it, he got held by DJ Gadoo, who already has 1 interception. And nice job by Zeke, just kind of flopping there like, I got grabbed. And the back judge from way across the field threw the flag. And Jason Hammett, the Marshall coach, what happened right in front of the Marshall bench, he is not happy with that call. He grabbed him. Yeah, I think it was clear. He grabbed Zeke. Yep. 15-yarder, automatic 1st down, and EAG forward 1st down.
I want to say they said 10-yard penalty, but it is an automatic
10.
first down.
10-yard penalty, excuse me.
So 1st and 10 now for Jacksonville from their own 29 after the penalty. Didi in the backfield with Clater. Clater going to hand this one off to Didi, trying to find somewhere to run up the middle. Not much there, but he's going to pick up 2.
Well, if you're Jacksonville, you just want to score. I mean, that's what Jason Holm and I were talking about at the half. He said, we just got to finish these drives. When we get 3 first downs, all of a sudden we just do something to shoot ourselves in the foot. You want to go down. You don't want to get that goose egg. You want to get it off the board.
2 receivers left for Jacksonville.
Gosh.
This one, flags come in, blown dead.
Procedure. They're going to get Big Cam again. So Drew Dials will check in at quarterback, it looks like, here is Danny Ramsey giving him the play to call. I think Drew's still on the sidelines. There he goes. And we're going to see Drew at a receiver. actually tight end, excuse me. I wonder where this ball may be going.
So 2 receivers left for Jacksonville. Clater looking for Drew Dials. He fumbles. Marshall's going to get on it. It's fumbled again. Jacksonville able to jump on it.
Oh, Calvin Boyd, one of the offensive linemen, goes downfield. What a heads-up play by the junior Boyd. Getting downfield after a nice throw by Trent Clater was complete to Drew. Drew fumbles it. Marshall looked like they fell on it, and he lost it. And then here comes Calvin Boyd, falls on it. Big gain for Jacksonville. After the pigskin, slippery, sloppery running down the field, Boyd for Jacksonville gets the fumble.
Just like you drew it up.
Oh, yeah, easy.
2 receivers left for Jacksonville. 1st and 10 from the Marshall 32. Clater looking to his left. This one out in front of Harrison Penn. Incomplete, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 now for Jacksonville.
That play makes me nervous. It's that pick six special, you know. Thankfully, Trent put something on that one, didn't float it. He had a little bit of mustard on it, and it went over the head of Penn. So Dorsey will check in. And
looks like Clater going to come out, so Drew Dials will move back to play quarterback. Dede in the backfield alongside him. Drew going to keep this one himself. Immediately met in the backfield, loss of a couple.
Yeah, Landon Jones with the tackle. Jones has been a force tonight for Marshall on that defensive front, along with Trayvon Tucker. Fighting Indians have struggled with those 2 guys blocking them. Dials loses a yard, maybe a couple. 3rd and 12. He will stay in the game at quarterback for Jacksonville.
Harrison Penn and Dante Simmons out wide for the Indians on 3rd and 12. Dials going to keep this one himself. Hurdles a man. Immediately met, though, after the hurdle. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to pick up 2.
Well, athletic move by Drew Dials right there. The first guy he hurdled over, kind of a highlight, but as soon as he came down after the hurdle, he got smacked by 3 Mavericks. So they pursue well, so it's 4th down. 10 to go as Drew does pick up a yard on the play, but that was a very athletic run right there by the big fella, Drew Dials. 6'1", 195. Just once he came back down to the ground. When you're in the air, that means Marshall's gaining ground on you because you're in the air.
Yeah.
But it was a cool-looking jump.
It was.
Timeout, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville going to take a timeout, and we'll take it with them. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Passing the competition by leaps and bounds. The team of world-class specialists at Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute are experts in caring for bones, joints, and muscles. In addition to treatment, they also provide special programs designed to keep you in optimal shape and improve athletic performance. So whether you're a student athlete or a weekend warrior, they'll keep you at the top of your game. Christus Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, taking orthopedic care a step further.
We'd like to thank this week's team meal sponsor, Blue Goose Customs and Fabrication. Thank you for your valued support of Jacksonville Athletics.
The last day of work.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium. 4th and 10 for Jacksonville. Clater going to fake the handoff, rolls to his right. That pass incomplete, intended for Drew Dials.
I don't know, man. I mean, even if you catch that, it's a 4-yard gain. I don't know. You got it. I mean, short side of the field. That's a tough ask right there for not only Clater to squeeze the ball in, but even if Drew makes that catch, he doesn't have much room to get up the field. I don't know. Sometimes you got to go vertical, and I guess they don't feel like they have enough time for Clater to sit back there and do that. Dante Simmons is shaking up a little bit. He's walked off under his own power, but he's okay now. They're just checking him out. So 6:18 remaining here.
1st and 10 for Marshall from their own 32. Henderson going to go under center. Keontae Elias in the backfield. Handoff going to go to him. He breaks a tackle, makes a man miss, and now it's off to the races for Keontae Elias. Jacksonville trying to chase him down, but he will score.
69 yards. I mean, that's what you're afraid of. I mean, it's a decent, you're not getting hammered. It's not one of those scores that makes you go, ooh, and then they do that. They just have those kind of dudes on this team. They still got their dudes in, by the way. They haven't subbed in anybody.
What's crazy to me is I know their main guy got hurt, but Keontae Elias is their number 3 running back.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, because 22 has been the backup. Bush, he had 69 yards at the half rushing.
Grimaldo in to attempt the extra point. This one tipped, but goes through.
Yeah, Jordan Dorsey got a hand on it.
So 35-0 now. Marshall leads Jacksonville. We'll take a short break and come right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JISD Live.
Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
That 100% beef Whataburger takes 2 hands and all of your attention. So yeah, now's the time to sneak that fry. Good thing there's plenty to savor. Good thing there's Whataburger.
Come see us at Dairy Queen on South Jackson before or after every Fightin' Indian game to try our family favorites meal. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Since 1953, Hubert Glass Oil has been servicing the Texas market with the finest quality fuels and lubricants. Each batch is crafted with precision and quality tested by our in-house lab. Whether you're on the road, on the farm, or on the job, we have the right product for your needs. Welcome back to Mavericks Stadium. Jesus Grimaldo has this one teed up, set to kick it away for Marshall. This one popped over to the right. Good job by Jerkelian Goodwin going back to catch that one.
Excellent job by Goodwin, catching it in the fly, not letting it hit the ground. And Goodwin now reaching back, fighting. Looks like he might be fighting a cramp. Fighting Indians will get decent field position on 6:05 remaining in the ball game. Next week, back to Tomato Bowl for the finale at home. Mount Pleasant, team that, like Jacksonville, has won 1 game this year, but it's probably the. I saw a deal that Mount Pleasant's won 1 game this year, but they're ranked 50th. That's a high ranking for a 1-win team, by the way. So just because they have 1 win when they come to the Tomato Bowl next week, that doesn't mean anything.
1st and 10 for Jacksonville.
Elijah.
Handoff goes to Elijah Harris. Going to pick up 1 on the play. Pretty physical tackle there from Marshall.
They're a physical football team, I can tell you. I don't have to tell you, you can see it.
So It's going to be 2nd and 9 now for Jacksonville. Just over 5.5 minutes remaining here in the game. Elijah Harris in the backfield with Clater. Handoff goes to him around the right side. Going to be wrapped up from behind. Loss of 2 on the play.
And Marshall's just a solid tackling team right there. They just got him around the waist, pulled down. That's the way you tackle in the open field. That's just good coaching by Marshall. Good tackle. Let's update a couple of scores right here. With 10 minutes to go in the ball game, White House 50, Nacogdoches 20. And over in Mount Pleasant, with 5 minutes to go in the third, still 49-7, Texarkana over Mount Pleasant. Hallsville again has the bye this week.
Two receivers left for Jacksonville. Clater looking that way.
Looking for Zeke.
Pass going to be incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd down now for the Indians. Actually, it should be 4th down. I believe that was 3rd down. So that will send the punting unit on for Jacksonville.
I see a yellow hanky on the field, so it's declined. It's against Jacksonville, declined by Marshall, and Toby Simpson now will snap the football back to K.C. Cardenas, both young men juniors for the Fighting Indians. Dropping back for Marshall will be Tyler Jonigan and that little dude, Keontae Lias.
Good snap back to KC. Gonna rugby this one. It hits in front of the returner. He catches it on a bounce. Michael Miles with some great coverage.
Oh, man.
Immediately wraps him up, still on his feet, driving backwards, and they're going to spot him, I believe, at the Marshall 16.
Well, Jonigan made a mistake right there. He caught it right in front of Michael Miles, and Michael made him pay for it. Good punt there by KC. Got the nice roll, got the hop.
Actually looks like they're going to spot it about the Marshall 18. .417 remaining here in the 4th. First and 10 for the Mavericks from their own 18-yard line. Lias in the backfield. Looks like we had a change at quarterback as well. Handoff goes to Lias. Nothing really there for him. Jacksonville able to sniff that one out. Picks up 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 8. Looks like Jack Weaver in at quarterback now for Marshall.
Sophomore, getting some snaps. Henderson is a junior quarterback, so he's coming back next year for Marshall, as is Weaver, who's in there now.
Two receivers wide right for Marshall. Pitch goes to Lias. Pretty open running room. I think he's going to get enough for the first down.
Drew Dials on the tackle. Now we got flags. Getting a little chippy down here. Got to step away. And I think this is going to be Michael Miles with the penalty. He's been talking a little bit with some of the Marshall players. They've been talking back. Definitely not exchanging addresses or cell phone numbers to talk later. That's not what they were doing. Miles is going to check out of the game. And Elijah Harris will check in at linebacker.
So there's already a first down pickup for Lias, and then another 15 on top of that. So Marshall will have 1st and 10 now from their own 44. Weaver going to go under center. Bush in the backfield gets the handoff. Jacksonville able to wrap him up, going to pick up 1 on the play.
Dorsey with a tackle, Gaskin helping him. Jacksonville still playing hard. Boyd also in there in the mix. And stay with us. We'll be handing out our post-game awards. Bone Crusher Hit of the Game, sponsored by Dar Chiropractic, and also the Austin Bank Offensive and Defensive Players of the Game for Jacksonville.
Second down and 9 now for Marshall, nearing 2.5 minutes remaining here in the 4th. Weaver a roll to his right, trying to find, I believe that is number 0, David Carlin, and there's number 9, Russell Crawford. That was the intended receiver there. So it'll be 3rd and 9 after the incompletion.
Well, you know, people may be wondering, why is Marshall throwing the ball? They're up 35-0. Why don't they just run this thing out? Well, they got their sophomore quarterback in there, and they're just trying to get him some reps. It's not like they're throwing deep. Now, if they throw deep right here, I might kind of go, but it's just a little short pass, just trying to get him some reps. Don't fault that at all.
Weaver going to hand this one off to Bush around the right side. Pretty good pickup there on 3rd down. It's going to be just short of 1st down yardage. It's going to be 4th and 2.
Goodwin will check in for Elijah at linebacker for the Fighting Indians. Clock stopped at 2:20.
Weaver going to hand this one off to Bush. Flag comes in.
Usually that's a procedure call against the offense. That is going to be the call. So 4th down, Coach Hammond of Marshall keeps that offense on the field here. You look at that offensive line for Marshall right now. There's 2 minutes to go. You're up 35-0. They still got the ones in there. Look at Big 79 at left tackle still. I mean, they pulled their quarterback. You know, Bush is basically the starter. He's the 2nd leading rusher. They still got their dudes in.
Weaver in the shotgun, 1 receiver each way. He drops back, looking to his right. That one tipped.
A good one, almost had a pick.
Keelan Goodwin, incomplete. So Marshall going to turn it over on downs.
Now, if you're Jacksonville right here, you got 2:11 left. You only got the 1 timeout, but just bow up and go. Go score.
Yeah, let's see the 2-minute drill.
I mean, yeah, just finish this thing. Head into next week to Tomato Bowl for the home finale against a beatable Mount Pleasant team that also has 1 win. They're good. They're probably the best 1-win team in the state of Texas. Mentioned they're ranked 50. You know, usually a 1-win team is ranked way down there, like in the hundreds. So you got some time to work right here. See what you can do with it.
So Jacksonville going to take over 1st and 10 from the Marshall 47-yard line. Clater going to hand this one off to Harris around the right side. Not much there for Elijah Harris. Going to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Just nothing going on that outside right there. Marshall just continues to use their lateral pursuit, their foot speed, to get to the outside and close it down. So we go to 140 and counting.
So 2nd and 10 now for Jacksonville. Dante Simmons, the lone receiver out left for the Indians. Glader looking that way. This one thrown behind Dante, incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 now for Jacksonville.
Well, it really just came off Trent's hand kind of funny right there, and no chance again for Dante. You know, Dante's one of those guys that if you could just get it in the area, he is going to catch it. We saw that last week with the touchdown catch, the slant route. Probably the best hands on the team does Dante Simmons have. He just tonight, he's just hadn't had the best passes thrown to him. If you know, that's the only way you can say it. He's been off a little bit.
So 3rd and 10 now for Jacksonville. Dante going to go in motion. Glader fakes the handoff, drops back. Going to throw this one away.
Yeah, pretty fortunate right there. I'm not sure that Trent was out of that tackle box. He did get the ball to the line of scrimmage, which, you know, that's part of the deal for it not to be intentional grounding. He seemed like he was between the hash, but the official's not going to call it. So 4th down. About we'll call it 10. It's really 9.5. Zeke checks in. Big Cam's in there. Dorsey. And Jacksonville's a little bit confused here what they're doing. Now they got it. Nah, they got to call timeout. All right, timeout Jacksonville. That's their last one, unless it's a delay. It is a delay. They didn't use a timeout, excuse me. How about 4th and 15?
It's a delay game. Going to back Jacksonville up 5. So now 4th and 15. Zeke goes in motion. Glader drops back, looking to his left, fires this one downfield. It's going to be picked off.
I didn't even go for it. Zeke.
Dante able to knock him out of bounds. Monte Haynes on the interception for Marshall.
You know, the ball was coming down, and I thought Zeke had a beat on it, and I don't know, he just didn't turn into it to go after it aggressively. Kind of let it come down right into the Marshall defender's hands. See if they show the replay right here. I thought Zeke had a shot at that one.
Yeah, Zeke's.
See, they're checking on him down
on
here.
The 25.
Yeah, he took a shot right after that in the mouth. And I thought it was a good ball by Trent. Got it up there for his receiver to have a chance at it. And, of course, Marshall had 2 guys deep. I thought Zeke might have had a chance at it, but Marshall gets the pick. Their 3rd turnover that their defense has gotten tonight. 3 interceptions. Of course, Jacksonville also has created 3 turnovers from their defense. So this is not really a game both teams can say they took care of the football on offense. Zeke comes off the field. He's still getting checked out by Jason Krause, the head trainer for Jacksonville. So Marshall now going in victory kneel mode here to kill this thing, and we'll go to our post game here in just a moment.
Jack Weaver just going to need to kneel this down one more time to close out this game for Marshall.
That'll do it.
Jack Weaver executes every quarterback's favorite play.
Hey, they're going straight to the locker room. There's not going to be a handshake after this game. Smart move by the coaches here. Marshall was they were getting pretty chippy and talking and what have you. And I think this is a good move by Jacksonville to go ahead and now look at this. I don't know what this guy's doing here. Oh, okay, he's just running over there. Okay, gotcha.
35, Jacksonville 0.
Looking for Jason Holman here as the team is going ahead and heading straight to the locker room. Yep, don't want anything crazy to happen here, especially when Marshall comes on Jacksonville's sidelines because the band's on this side. So I am still looking for Jason Holman, and there he is. He just got through
He was out talking to the Marshall coach.
to the Marshall coach, and let's see when he's ready to. He's still checking on his team, getting a hug from the missus here. He's going to come over here, and we're going to talk about it. Coach, it was so promising at the half. You'd been playing so good and got the ball, went 3 and out a couple times in the third quarter, and then you just weren't able to just really get anything going cohesively on offense.
Yeah, they swarmed us pretty good in the second half and completely shut us down from an offensive standpoint. And then we had some lapses, let some things pop on defense, and just could never get back into the game.
I know that they created 3 turnovers, but your defense created 3 turnovers too. Played really well at some times of it. They just have that kind of team speed that they're going to break stuff like they break them, like they did a couple of times. But overall, I mean, you can't be too disappointed in the way you played. But as you say all the time, you got to play a whole football game. That third quarter was a killer.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, we knew they were going to be a physical football team. When he questioned about it, we had opportunities here and there and did really well in phases, just not enough to put points on the board, obviously, and not enough to stay in it with a good football team. So,
well, they are a good football team, but like I said, they had a great first half, just didn't get all in the second half. Coach, you got Mount Pleasant, home finale, senior night next week. It's a winnable game against Mount Pleasant. They also have just 1 win, but they're a pretty good 1-win team.
Yeah, we've got to get some of our kids back in shape for us. We got some banged up, of course, this time in the year, and we hadn't had an open week. Don't have an open week until after the 10th game. So we got to get some kids healed up. We were a little short today, had some sickness and some other things. Some kids weren't here. So hopefully by next week we'll be back to, full roster and have everybody out there with an opportunity to compete on senior night.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Head Coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles post-game interview. We appreciate All Smiles sponsoring all of our conversations with Head Coach Jason Holman. Guys, let's hand out some awards. First, our Dar Chiropractic Bone Crusher Hit of the Game. If your body needs an adjustment, call Dr. Darwin Dar from Dar Chiropractic. The hit of the game, has anybody got a clue? We all know what it is, right?
I mean, I would think it's
the Goodwin hit.
Goodwin over here on the sideline.
Yeah, Jerkeelan Goodwin with the Bone Crusher Hit of the Game. I just want to make sure you guys were not asleep up there. Just making sure you are paying attention. The Austin Bank offensive and defensive players of the game. Austin Bank, your community bank since 1900. Offensive player of the game. Guys, I can say that he fought tooth and nail the whole game. It's Didi Mares. I mean, he didn't get the 100-yard game that he's been having, but I don't know anybody else offensively that carried the load like Didi did tonight.
He had the bulk of the work. I think he had 25 carries for 51 yards, but, I mean, the bulk of the offensive production tonight was definitely Didi.
Yeah. The defensive player of the game, Elijah Benavides. He was all over the field tonight making tackles, especially that first quarter, really set the tone for Jacksonville defensively. So Elijah Benavides is your Austin Bank defensive player of the week. Guys, that's a wrap from down here at Maverick Stadium on the floor. I'm going to throw it back to y'all.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Let's quickly go through some post-game statistics here brought to you by Randy Gorham, CPA.
The Indians finished with Trent Clater passing 4 completions on 19 attempts for a total of 54 yards. Rushing, Didi had 25 carries for 51 yards. Elijah Harris, 7 carries for 13. Jordan McGowan, 1 carry for 8 yards. And Drew Dials had 4 carries for -2 yards. Receiving, Cam Thompson, 1 catch for 25. Drew Dials, 1 catch for 17. Dante Simmons, 2 catches for 12 yards.
Yeah, I mean, we know that's how it is. Jacksonville's offense is very one-dimensional. Lots of very run-heavy, and when you're coming up against a team that has played very physical, they've scored a lot of points. They're stacking the box against you. It's definitely tough to run against them. But, Dede, I mean, hats off to him. He played his butt off tonight.
He worked hard.
25 carries.
He worked hard.
I mean, he carried the bulk of the load for the Jacksonville offense tonight. And, I mean, it just ultimately wasn't enough on offense tonight. Jacksonville never really got much going.
We were optimistic at halftime that it, 14-0 game there at the half, and we came out and we were hoping to get a good start, but 3 and out. And I think each of those first 3 plays were all negative plays, and so just
and then
was not the start that we wanted to see.
And then you come back out after they score and you go 3 and out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to get some offense going. I mean, you have a goose egg on the board tonight for Jacksonville, which is never anything that you want to see at the end of the game. And they're averaging 12 points a game, which I'm sure will be less coming into next week after you score 0 tonight. So definitely not what you wanted to see from Jacksonville offensively. But Jacksonville defensively was pretty good. I mean, Marshall, they I think had been averaging 450 yards a game. They're averaging over 40 points. Let's take a quick look.
They had 427 yards of offense tonight, but
most of that came in the second half.
It was,
and
one
of those
big plays.
There was
take away that 70-yard rush, the long pass play in the first half, and that long rush on the reverse. So just a few plays.
Well, and they had a big pass completion there in the third quarter as well.
Yeah.
So there were some explosive plays there in the second half for sure that really kind of turned things in Marshall's favor.
Yeah, this game was similar to a few other games this year, meaning that it's kind of one half of football was really encouraging, and you just wish Jacksonville could get an entire game like those that we've seen where, the second half versus center in the first week of the year, and then games like tonight where one half of football is really good and it's really solid, and defensively tonight, the first half they were great, and we're still just kind of all want to see what this team would look like if we can get an entire set of 4 quarters of that type of play, where we've seen this team play well for stretches throughout the year, and tonight play well against a really, really good football team. This Marshall team, really highly ranked, took the number 1 ranked 5A team to 1 point last week, and so this is a really good to great 5A high school football team that they're playing tonight, and for the entire first half kept it a really close game.
Mm-hmm.
So just like a few of those other contests, just you really wish Jacksonville could put together that performance that they had in the first half tonight for 4 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely would like to see that. And, I mean, you can't win a football game if you're not able to score offensively either. And,
that's a good point. That's more that Aggie math.
I'm just saying. I mean, Jacksonville has got to figure out something offensively. I mean,
absolutely.
When you're so run heavy, I mean, the offense gets predictable. The other team is. I mean, it's pretty easy to call defense against a team that just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. We've got to have some pass game to mix it up. We saw a little bit that was promising tonight, but you've got to find a way to get in the end zone, even against a good team like Marshall. I mean, you've got to figure out something. I mean, I'm not even saying we would have scored enough tonight to win, but you have to find something get in, some way to get into the end zone, because if you can do it against Marshall, you can do it next week against Mount Pleasant for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We've offensively, we've got to find a way to punish teams that stack the box all game long. We've seen that all year long. Teams know what Jacksonville wants to do, and so they stack the box. And tonight, you kind of referenced it. There was a few times that we were able to kind of punish them for that and get a Cam Thompson wide open for 25 yards. But we've got to get more of that and got to take advantage when those opportunities are there.
Definitely. I think that's going to do it for our post-game statistics tonight. Once again, thank you to Randy Gorham for sponsoring all of our statistics here for Fighting Indian Football. So on behalf of Todd Travis, Matt Montgomery, and Lee Traylor, I'm Ryan Travis. Thank you for joining us tonight for all the action from Marshall. We'll see you next Friday as the Indians head home for senior night to take on